All right, we're about to begin in 2 minutes. We're going to let the builders in now. We're going to be seated around you. They've flown in from around the region to be here for this pitch day. Tina, let's let the builders in. Maybe we can give a round of applause for the builders who've worked tirelessly to be here with us today. They've been through several intense weeks of work to build their MVPs and to come pitch them. All right. Let's get this party started. Welcome. Okay. Welcome, everyone. Good morning. Let's get started. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to 42 Abu Dhabi and to the startAD AI for Good Sandbox pitch day. My name is Rami Jundi. I'm the Assistant Director of Innovation at startAD, and I've had the privilege to work closely with the incredible innovators you're about to meet today. Gathered in this room today, we have partners who believed in our vision from day one, experts who dedicated their careers to social impact, tech leaders who mentored and guided us and the teams, and the 15 finalist teams building the future foundation for health and well-being in our region. Thank you all for being with us today. When we first set out to design this program, we asked ourselves one question. How can we accelerate the adoption of AI in the third sector in service of people and communities and not just profit? We chose to look at SDG 3, health and well-being, with a special focus on underserved communities in the UAE and KSA. We started by bringing the ecosystem together. We had roundtables with academia, government, social enterprises, and private sector. And these sessions shaped our strategy and led us to the 5 core track partners who are working on the front lines of health equity. Together, we worked on 2 things: uncovering real use cases and AI upskilling at an organizational level. We surfaced and validated 18 real challenges with input from social and technical experts. Then we opened it up to the people who want to use their skills to solve these challenges. And nearly 1,000 builders applied to solve them. We shortlisted 300, narrowed it down to 53 teams across 14 countries, representing 56 universities, and they're sitting around you here today. And over several intense weeks, they built, they broke, they tested, and rebuilt. And today we celebrate the top 15 teams who built working open source MVPs positioned for real impact. This initiative reflects startAD's commitment to responsible, practical innovation. It was designed and led by startAD with support from google.org, and you supported us from day one. Its foundation is built on strategic partnerships, community-driven innovation, and an unwavering focus on responsibility. For those who don't know us, startAD is anchored in NYU Abu Dhabi and powered by Tamkeen, and we focus on building the entrepreneurial and innovation capabilities of the UAE and beyond. We've worked with over 5,000 aspiring entrepreneurs, collaborated with 50+ organizations, and supported more than 19 pilots come to life. AI is the defining technology of our time. Our focus is on shaping how it's developed, who it serves, and the values that guide its use. These choices will influence our societies for years to come. In the UAE's Year of Community, this room embodies what community looks like in action. The teams today are building AI that connects parents to health resources, supports youth with mental health pathways, helps people with chronic conditions stay connected to care, empowers therapists to reach more families, and strengthens the wider ecosystem of support. All of this is possible because of our partners, to whom we give our deepest gratitude. 42 Abu Dhabi. Thank you for hosting us in this incredible space. Your peer-to-peer model and focus on real-world problem solving align perfectly with the spirit of this program. Google.org. Thank you for your support and your vision and for supporting us from day one. In a moment, you'll hear from Martin Roski on Google's role in advancing this work. To our track partners, Early Childhood Authority, Abu Dhabi, National MS Society, Abdullah Al Ghurair Foundation, Ability Pediatric Rehabilitation Center, and National Center for Mental Health. Thank you for trusting us with your community's needs. A special acknowledgement to KAUST Academy and the National Center for Mental Health, who joined us all the way from Saudi Arabia to be here with us today. Thank you for your partnership and for being part of this journey. To our mentors, judges, and delivery partners, Zeka, Brink, and Upstart Bar, thank you for the guidance and support you provided across every stage of this program. To the entire startAD team, thank you for your unwavering commitment, the way you support each other and how you show up under pressure, and the spirit you bring to this work. We move as one team unified by a shared vision. So here's what's happening today. We begin with a conversation on mental health in an AI-saturated world, because this is the context in which we're looking at most of the challenges today. Then the 15 finalist teams will pitch, our judges will ask the tough questions, and 4 teams will receive awards. But we recognize that all of you here today have done something incredible. You've built something that didn't exist a few weeks ago. Yeah. And this is not the end. Together with our partners, we'll continue building pilot roadmaps, playbooks, and shared learnings to help others replicate what worked and strengthen what can work even better next time. And today demonstrates the impact we can create through responsible, community-focused AI. We're proud that this program was built here by startAD in Abu Dhabi, with partners who share this commitment. We thank Google.org for supporting this work from the beginning. So please join me, everyone, in welcoming Martin Roski, the Director of Public Policy and Government Relations for Google MENA. Martin, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Rami. Sabah al-khair, good morning. How are you all? It's great to be in Abu Dhabi on such a beautiful day. And to all of you who've traveled from far to come here and be part of this event, welcome. Rami, thank you again for having me, for all the partners here who've been part of this incredible journey. We're very proud to have been here with you as Google and to be able to support this. Having spent sort of more than 20 years in the MENA region, I've been here for quite a long time. I've worked on digital transformation initiatives in healthcare, education, youth employment, and a lot with startups as well. And I can tell you, this room today really represents exactly the kind of future that we want to build here in this region together. So really, really exciting to have you here. This journey you've all been on from, as Rami said, 1,000 applicants down to 53 teams, and finally to the top 15 who are here today to pitch. That must have been very intense, I can imagine. And every stage would have proved the talent and commitment in this region and everyone in this room. So let me tell you briefly why Google.org, our philanthropic arm, is supporting this program and why we believe the MENA region is critical to the future of AI. At Google, as some of you may know, our mission is to organize the world's information and to make it universally accessible and useful. Today, that mission is very much driven by AI. We view AI not just as a technology, but as a crucial tool for solving some of humanity's biggest challenges, from predicting floods to protecting endangered wildlife globally. Google.org does that by focusing on 3 pillars: knowledge, skills, and learning, scientific progress, and stronger communities. And AI for social good, which this program is part of, sits right at the intersection of all 3. At Google DeepMind, Breakthrough AI models, such as AlphaFold, for which 2 Googlers won a Nobel Prize last year, already predicted over 200 million protein structures, nearly all cataloged proteins known to science. The AlphaFold protein structure database makes this data freely available. And so far, there are 2 million scientists, users, researchers from universities and the scientific community in over 190 countries using this data. It means it has potentially already saved hundreds of millions of years in research time. If you think it took 3 years of a PhD to just identify, understand one protein, to be able to do 200 million in about a year, how much time in research time that has already saved. This is accelerating breakthroughs in biology, in medicine, including in drug discovery that were once considered impossible. So this work is shaping fields that will inevitably lead to future discoveries of global significance. And we're committed to supporting this innovation globally through a wide range of AI initiatives. Programs like the Google.org Accelerator and the AI Opportunity Fund provide funding, training, mentorship, technical expertise to startups and nonprofits across emerging markets. And there are some examples of the impact this work is having, whether it's to help farmers mitigate pests and increase crop yields in India, or it's enabling AI-powered apps to support early education in Africa, or providing real-time translation for refugees in displaced settings, or even detecting diseases earlier in underserved communities. Our goal is to ensure that this technology and AI really serves everyone, everywhere. But here's what excites me about MENA. The MENA region, it's not just about adopting AI. You are shaping it, you're creating it. The UAE's national AI strategy, Saudi Arabia's investments in AI research and development, the region's young tech-savvy population and the urgent need for locally relevant and culturally appropriate solutions. This region wants to build its own solutions, and that's why we're here, because the best AI for this region will come from this region. While the UAE and Saudi are comparatively wealthy nations, we still face real challenges, even here, and particularly in healthcare. According to a recent study done by King Abdulaziz University in Saudi Arabia, the nurse-to-population ratio varies dramatically across different regions in Saudi Arabia, from a high of about 10 nurses per 1,000 people to a low of about 3 nurses per 1,000 people, making the quality of healthcare provided somewhat unequal even within one country. And across the GCC, the cost of healthcare services continues to rise due to high prevalence of non-communicable diseases such as diabetes, increased demand for advanced treatments, and dependence on imported medical supplies. That means there is a shortage of specialized treatment centers, and many countries face a persistent shortage of healthcare professionals, making access to care inequitable. This places a lot of pressure on medical services. And it's why only last week we launched YouTube Health in Arabic, right here in Abu Dhabi, to make health information from trusted, authoritative sources available to everyone. The potential of AI in healthcare is vast, but it must be applied locally. And this is arguably the most relevant healthcare-focused AI initiative that's running in MENA right now, right here. The future of AI in the region is not something that will be imported, but it must be built right here by you. And you're actively ensuring that AI is not something done to the community, but created by the community. Finally, I want to thank once again now suddenly I have a voice, a very loud one. I want to thank our incredible partner, startAD. Your dedication to accelerating deep tech and creating impact in this ecosystem is unparalleled. And we couldn't do this without your expertise. I also want to thank and congratulate once again all the 53 teams in the startAD AI for Good Sandbox for bearing the responsibility while working on the opportunity. And if you're one of the 15 teams presenting here today, your solution definitely addressed some of the most critical needs in the region. Remember, you're not only solving local issues, but you're demonstrating to the world how the MENA region can lead in building responsible open source AI for the common good. We really look forward to seeing your pitches today, and the very best of luck. Inshallah, may God be with you, and 4 of you will walk away with some amazing prizes, so look forward to it. Right.
Thank you, Martin. Thank you so much, Martin. Please allow me, let's welcome Mr. Abdul Jalil Nasser, the Chief of Learning and Technology at 42 Abu Dhabi, our gracious hosts for today. Abdul Jalil.
Thank you, Rami. Do I need a microphone?
Yes, please.
All right. So usually I speak without microphone. I will try to deal with it. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to 42 Abu Dhabi. It is a pleasure to have all of you with us today. You have come a long way. And here at 42, we are having you for the AI for Good hackathon organized by startAD and google.org. Thank you to both partners. At 42 Abu Dhabi, we are pleased to be part of this amazing event. Today, it's about one thing, turning ideas into impact. At 42 Abu Dhabi, we see this happening often. Teams arrives with uncertainty, idea change shape, and at the end, that simple idea becomes a solution. It seems memorizing is not working, but I will try to cope up with it. The idea will take shape. The idea will take shape, and at the end, everything will come to okay. This rare when it happens to me, but so let's okay. So to put it simple, our motto here at 42 is learning by doing. It's learning by trying. It's learning by getting things done. And by having all of you with us today here, it's in the DNA of what we do at 42. So to all participants here, you have came from a long way, but you have done the most important step, which is you have showed up. You have worked hard. You have worked hard. You have coded overnight, but what matters the most is getting the things done. So remember that AI, it's not only about output. It's about you giving it meaning. It's about you connecting the dots. It's about you bring it to the community. So without overdue, to our partners, New York, Abu Dhabi, and google.org. We are happy to partner with you, and I wish all of you the best of luck. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Actually, can you stay up here? I'd like to call the partners up for a quick picture before we begin with the panel discussion. So please, if we can have Tushita from Early Childhood Authority, Muthanna from National MS Society, Dr. Mahasen from Ability, Dr. Hind, if you would like to join us, please. Ustad, please, yeah, we'd love to take a picture with you. Yes, please. Yeah, sorry, please come in. Sure. We're framing you. Please, on the other side. Or to the center. Okay, one last one. Okay, let's get started. Thank you. It's now time for the panel discussion. Okay, so the topic is growing up with AI, the future of mental health for children and youth. The panel will be moderated by Hannah Barakat, Senior Associate Director at startAD. Hannah, please تفضلي. And now I'd like to invite the panelists to the stage, please. Khawla Hamad, founder and CEO at Takallum, mental health advocate and philanthropist. Maryam Hassani, Head of Trends and Innovation at Abu Dhabi Early Childhood Authority. Dr. Olivier Oulier, Professor at MBZ UAI, CEO of Inclusive Brains and Chairman of the Biotech Dental AI Institute. And Naira Hussein, UAE National Coding Ambassador at the AI Office, West and Central Asia Lead at AI Safety Asia, and co-founder of AI Safety UAE. All right.
Thank you, Rami, for the introduction, and thank you to our panelists for joining us today. As a psychologist by education, this topic is especially close to my heart, and I'm sure to yours too. How many people in the room have children or family members under the age of 18 that are actually using AI today? And how many of you are worried about their mental health? We all are, aren't we? So you are in the right place, as we are here to discuss how the use of AI can affect their mental health in this day and age. Because children's mental health in an age of rapid AI advancement is an extremely sensitive topic, and the urgency is real. Allow me to share with you some numbers that will reflect this urgency. Globally, 1 in 8 people experience a mental health condition. In the GCC, nearly 80% go undiagnosed. And among children, some studies show over 40% of them exhibit depressive symptoms. Also, there is troubling rise in self-harm and suicide incidents linked to AI interactions, specifically among children. In some reported cases, conversations with AI chatbots have contributed to child suicide, reflecting the deep psychological impact and misplaced trust people can form with these systems. The number one AI safety issues involving children today is child sexual abuse material. In 2010, there were about 100,000 reports. In 2023, the number had surged to 36.2 million. The scale is staggering, and it shows how fast technology's darker side can grow when safety doesn't keep up with it. And this data has been shared by Colonel Dana Ahmed al-Marzouqi. On a more positive note, we have seen a rapid growth in the AI and healthcare market in the UAE, which is nearly 35%. That growth will open door to opportunities such as early intervention and support tools that we will be talking about today. And it's important for us to discuss trust, data, safety, and emotional dependency when we are adopting these AI solutions, which we will be exploring today with our panelists. So the first part of the conversation, we want to understand that reality and the current impact and evidence that we are already seeing in this region. I'd like to start with you, Naira. Can you help us unpack what's really happening behind the algorithms that shape so much of children's online experiences?
that better? Can you hear me now? Okay. Oh, that's working. Great. Thank you. Thank you so much, Hannah. I really appreciate it. I guess we're starting off with a bang. Like the statistics you've given us are quite chilling, and I hope y'all are seeing this in your online environments as well. So to repeat, what do parents and educators need to understand when it comes to these algorithms? What's really happening under the hood, right?
Exactly.
So I'll give you a bit about my background so the audience understands where I'm coming from and then answer the question if that's okay. So I'm coming from more of a software engineering and machine learning background. I graduated in 2016 with a thesis in cybersecurity and AI, so understanding the common vulnerabilities and the exploits and helping classify them with machine learning classification algorithms, right? So I've been looking at the ethics and safety space since maybe 2021, looking into algorithmic bias with the documentary Coded Bias on Netflix. You can go and check that out. Weapons of Math Destruction, excellent book, Invisible Women. And this tells us about how the tech has evolved, the tech that we're using today, how it's evolved to its current state, right? 10 years ago, it might have been a bit harder to connect the dots, but if you drill it down to the basics, the foundations, tech companies actually have incompatible incentives and clear conflict of interest between the fiduciary responsibility to the stakeholders and responsibility to public good, right, and PR. Being 100% transparent will definitely affect the bottom line and profitability. Minority groups are often exploited to create CSAM, and we need to have a think about what is the enforced AI policy by the regulation as well as the tech companies to address this issue, right? So guidelines, when principles, code of ethics can only get us so far, what can we do to have an actual impact and action, drill down to the interactions we're having on a day-to-day basis, right? Last thing I want to mention, like what you said about suicides and deaths, we cannot really afford to have child deaths now due to these preventable issues and having public apologies in front of Congress when it's called out, right? Lastly, not everyone has access to a laptop or smartphone. What are the pathways we're now developing to have AI as an equalizer for the people who need it the most? So I hope this helps frame some of the discussion today.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much. I'd like to bring Khawla into this conversation. First, share with us what Takallam does, but also from Takallam's vantage point, working with young people and the families in the UAE and the broader region. How is technology shaping the emotional development and social well-being of children and teenagers today?
Thank you. First of all, good morning to everyone. Thank you for having me. And we're very proud to be the knowledge partner of this panel today. Takallam, which is the Arabic word for talk, started basically to increase accessibility to mental health care and reduce the cultural stigma that comes with it. So it's a mental well-being platform. Through the application that we have both in Arabic and English, we provide a set of tools and resources, including connecting with over 80 licensed psychologists who are available online to be conducting one-to-one sessions with individuals, as well as tools and resources utilizing AI and a library of content that they can use on that will help them on daily basis. We've been supported by startAD. DOH, since the day we started, DOH Tech Hub has been our biggest supporter as well. Shout out to Abdullah, who's here today. And being in such an ecosystem in the UAE has been really a launch pad and catalyst to enhance healthcare and well-being in the AI space. So going back to your question, how can we support children and parents? And I want to focus on parents here, as I am a parent of this beautiful 9-year-old here, Mira, with us today.
Hi, Mira.
I want to learn ways that I am capable and equipped with the right tools and resources to support Mira in the first place, right? So that means what resources are available there for me to learn how to support my daughter's well-being, how to meet her where she is. Children today are on their phones. Whether we like it or not, this is where we should meet them. We should define vocabulary that they use to express themselves. For example, I ask Mira, how was your day today? She tells me, well, 6, 7. What does that mean? You know, like, was that good or bad? I
It all
have
took
to.
us some time to understand what 6, 7
Honestly,
is.
like, as silly as it sounds, but this is how they express themselves. And we have to learn what, vocabulary they use, how to help them communicate how they feel and support them on that basis as we go.
Definitely. And how do you feel it is shaping their emotional development? Is it making them more aware? Is it changing the way they behave with other humans?
I mean, if we look at it, obviously, like, using technology and AI has a double-edged sword, right? So
Yes.
how it has its benefits and its disadvantages. If we're using it in things to, like I said, communicate and learn how to express your emotions. For example, we have Ayla, that is a multi-agent model that is culturally rooted. We built Ayla to be the AI well-being companion that talks to individuals based on how they feel, where they're coming from. So instead of people like the chilling numbers that you mentioned earlier, using ChatGPT and other models that are not supervised, are not built for such use cases. So we built Ayla in a way to ensure that there is a safe space that does not only answer to what they want, like a person wants to hear and validates how they're feeling, but challenge them in a way to provoke the thought process using CBT, giving them resources. However, this alone cannot be utilized without the supervision and the intervention of the human element into the whole this. So yes, it is shaping, how they feel and how they express their emotion, how they interact in the world. But if it's used in the right way with ethical foundation, I think it can be extremely useful.
Thank you so much. And Maryam, can you please add from an early childhood development perspective, which means up until the age of 8, where children first learn and grow and interact with the world, what early signals or evidence are you seeing about AI's influence in the early childhood space?
Thank you for that question. From the Early Childhood Authority's point of view, of course, we are predominantly looking at the health and safety and wellness across multiple let's say sectors: health and nutrition, child protection, family support, and early care and education, particularly within prenatal to the age of 8. So what we've observed so far in our research, and this is a recent research done with 10,000 families based in Abu Dhabi, where we found that children, around 86% of young children spend time in digital activities outside of school. And further to that, a lot of that you can assume is obviously within the 5 to 8 year range. However, another statistic to kind of pair with that is the fact that parents, around 70% of parents, feel that the time that their children spend is completely normal, and they don't see it as a problem, let's say. So I think what that tells us as policymakers and those in the space is that there may potentially be a gap in understanding and awareness of what quality versus quantity is in terms of the digital intake of content for children. Another point that I would like to mention is, of course, we look at evidence-based and research-based practices, and what we found is that, under the age of 2, there should be no screens, is what we found, but between the age of 2 and 5, that's about 1 hour a day. At most, and then once you're between 5 and 8, you can increase that to 2 hours a day. So that just further proves that, there is a lot to do in terms of awareness, bringing the parents to the table, having those conversations, and ensuring that they are the first point of contact for their child to be consuming this information and the digital content. So we really look at that. We look at that dialogue with parents, with the family community, with the caregiver community, and to create things that are very well rooted in the culture and the daily routines that we've observed. Of course, it's quite complex to kind of dig into that space.
Yes.
But I think further to what we've just observed, knowing that children are online, there isn't much we can do in terms of restricting that. I don't think what our aim is to restrict, but rather to mitigate, to ensure that they receive the best that these technologies have to offer in moderation so that they can get the best outputs without sacrificing on the risks that can occur.
It's fascinating how much we undermine that children at a very early age actually absorb everything around them, and these are the most important years of their development. And I think that I've seen some parents now questioning themselves, how many hours am I allowing my children to be on screen? Thank you so much, Mariam. And Olivier, your work focuses on developing models that allow machines to adapt to their users. Can you share how that works in practice and what kind of benefits or risks it might bring for our children?
Thank you very much for having me. The way I see the world is that the world of us humans can be summarized with two words. Physicians smoke.
Okay, elaborate, please.
Meaning that you can explain to people what to do, what not to do, have all the knowledge in the world. You might end up doing things that are not good for yourself. Physicians smoke. This is why transparency is necessary but never sufficient. So let's look at this the other way around. Is it possible to empower machines to understand the uniqueness of each of us? The uniqueness of a little girl that can rap or loves crepes. The uniqueness of a little boy who cannot move because he's quadriplegic. Or someone else that has attention deficit disorders. The way we train models is not just with words, images, and audio, the way a lot of us consider artificial intelligence these days with all the models that we're using on a daily basis. We train them with brainwaves, facial expression, voice intonation, eye movements, touch, heartbeat, respiration. The goal is to train these models with the same information that our brains are processing on a daily basis. This way, the machine can understand what a person can do or cannot do, and how different the same person can be from a morning to an evening. In a lot of organizations, including schools, kids are assessed through cognitive and psychology tests. Those can be informative, but there is more than 50 years of scientific literature, peer-reviewed scientific literature, that shows the lack of predictability or reproducibility. And I think the first thing we must do with responsible artificial intelligence is to leverage the most advanced science, the most advanced technology, and not tools that we already know are not good enough. So back to machines adapting to us. What does that mean? It means that when it comes to content, when it comes to classes, when it comes to training, upskilling later in life, the machine can sense whether some people are more on the audio side, on the visual side, or sometimes they need to switch because their minds are wandering.
Yes.
And also, ultimately, and this is more a dream of mine, is really to have machines that allow kids to mind wander, to be bored. And that's something that I would love to advance. I was lucky enough when I was a kid to be bored, for my parents not to care what I was doing when they were having dinners with their friends. Today we do everything in a child-centric way, which I think is admirable from a moral point of view. But there are so many benefits of having to just do something with yourself because the machine is not providing it. And I think that is also something that we should empower the machines to do, is at some point to decide not to provide content, not to stimulate, and say, hey kid, get bored.
Yes, so real-time, human-centered, let's say, advice or solutions. But I will come back to you on that point for sure. So what we have discussed until now is, and we have established in our conversation, is that AI is a double-edged sword today. And on one hand, it offers these incredible opportunities, such as detecting early signs of depression or providing emotional support. On the other hand, there are risks such as addiction, manipulation, but even replacing vital human connection. And Mariam, I'm going to dive into that human connection part, especially that the number one use case for Gen AI in 2025 is therapy and companionship. So how do you see this balance playing out in real life in early childhood development? How are we going to ensure the human connection is still there, but at the same time they're getting it from somewhere else?
Yeah, I think just it being the first use case shows you that there is in fact a demand for it, a market demand for companionship and connection. And I think that's quite natural, especially in the early years when a child's brain is forming the connection and the pathways for creating connection and communication. But what we ultimately want to see is that they form those connections with their parents, with their caregivers, with their elders, with their family and community. In Abu Dhabi, our identity is very rooted in family and that relationship and dialogue with our parents and elders. And that's something we would want to see reflected in any of the tools or AI chatbots, companions, toys, what have you, that our children are being exposed to. But further to that, I think, again, double-edged sword is really accurate, because we have seen some successes as well in terms of how these AI companions can support children, shy children, anxious children, neurodivergent children, children of determination, with therapeutics, with practicing communication in a safe and in confidence. But what we want to see as well is that it's not to substitute for the human connection, which is required further development. So we hope to see that's almost like it's complementing their learning journey, providing them with, of course, there's instant responses, gratification. But I think one thing we definitely cannot forget is that AI is good at imitating empathy, but it doesn't feel empathy. And so for a child learning that, they should be learning it through dialogue and discussion with parents and with other humans, essentially. So that's something we truly look at, and we hope it will evolve for the best.
We hope so too. Khawla, I can see you're writing a lot of notes. Would you like to add anything specifically on the human connection topic?
Yeah, I mean, I can echo everything Mariam said, and from a cultural perspective, the way we grew up is really community centric. We community depended on each other, had that emotional support and connection. We were playing in the streets the whole time, and our parents trying to bring us back. Now we're trying to push our kids
come back
out.
home.
Yeah, so having that, lifestyle and this big change really influenced the way our children are gonna grow up right now. So, from that perspective is really important to go back to the culture and the community support system, which we advocate a lot through Takallam, by bringing communities together, launching support groups for parents and others to get that emotional connection.
So it's embedded in your solution, trying to give them the right balance of advice, but at the same time ensuring that they are still understand what community and bringing the community, the family together.
Absolutely, and with empathy, the empathy point. I mean, like Mariam said, technology actually is there as an enabler, right? It's there to support the human rather than replace what they do. Empathy still, we need that human connection to offer that empathetic approach. However, together with the technology can be really a strong force that can enable things on a much higher scale and deliver more effective solutions.
Yes, thank you. Before I move to Naira, Olivier, this is where I want to challenge you. So, yes, we understand that the machine now can really sense and analyze the data it's receiving, including empathy. But at the end of the day, physically, visually, it is a machine. And do you think this will affect the individuals, youth and children, and break that human connection that we have since we are born.
The interesting thing is we tend to forget that those machines are so far still coded by humans, at least partially, trained on human data or artificial data that is generated from human data. Then they become products that are used by humans, and those products learn from the interactions with human beings, which means that at the end of the day, generative AI is just a mirror of ourselves as individuals and as society. And there is a silent epidemic of loneliness and of mental health. Hence, you would see the figures that you shared about the main usage of artificial intelligence.
Yes.
Also, they've been trained on Western data for the great majority. And part of the problem also is those models are supposed to do everything. I don't expect my butcher to make my bread. Yet, we expect some models that have been trained on some data to basically help or assist everybody. And there is something that is utterly wrong about that. And this is why the initiatives by the Early Childhood Authority,
Yes.
the cultural anchoring, what Hakalam is doing by not only leveraging the cutting edge technology, but anchoring it again with regional data, with a language, is so important. There is so much in language that we forget.
Yes.
Not
very
only
important.
the words themselves, but the metaphors.
Yes.
And the metaphors, most of them are related to our body. And the way we relate to our body changes from one city to another somewhere in the world.
100%.
All of these things, and which brings me to the embodiment of what this technology can bring to people. There is a lot of emphasis on empathy. It's still very hard for me to be at ease with the idea that we're going to teach empathy to people, teaching them morals, teaching them respect, teaching them all those things that are proxies, or maybe not proxies, but anchors and foundations for an empathic behavior is more something that sits well with me. The fact that people judge a machine as empathic because the machine is just basically telling us what we want to hear. And the fact that as human beings we relate more to people who are mimicking our behavior, whether we're talking about waiters that just adopt the pace of your voice, they get more tips. People who speak and walk like you feel better with them, you rate them better. It's the same with machines, and machines have been trained on this data, they know that. At the end of the day, it's about the embodiment and what matters the most, and this is why I just accepted a job at the Mohammed bin Zayed University of Artificial Intelligence in the human-computer interaction department chaired by the brilliant Professor Elizabeth Churchill, someone who understands that human AI collaboration, cooperation is the core of what we need to teach and learn today. We need to learn to dance with these machines. And I use the term dance because it requires coordination.
A lot of coordination.
And it requires also to anticipate what is coming up.
Oh,
and this
yes.
is very hard.
That's true. Yeah. Would you like to add anything? Or shall we ask you to put the policy maker's hat now, Naira? Yes. So if I'm asking you to put the policymaker's hat and to share with me what would keep you awake at night when you think about AI entering children's lives, and what actually excites you or makes you hopeful about that.
Amazing. Thank you, Hannah.
Let's test again.
I hope that's better. Okay. All right, slightly better. Great. So again, a bit about the background I'm coming from. I'm coming from AI Safety UAE, which is working on this shared understanding, having an empathy for civil society, the people who are using these technologies, shared understanding as well as responsibility between the policy makers, people in governance, risk and compliance, people in tech who are actually building and using the technology, and civil society, right? So everyone has a stake in this. So what keeps policymakers up at night? Now, I'm not a policymaker, but I sure hope this keeps them up at night. It definitely keeps me up at night. So we can compare and contrast AI education policies with China and the UAE. UAE has recently adopted K-12 AI education. And to highlight a quote from China's top tech official, Ding Shuixiang, who put it quite bluntly at Davos in January 2025. He said, if the braking system isn't under control, you can't step on the accelerator with confidence, right? For Chinese leaders, safety isn't a constraint. This is a prerequisite. So China is leading globally in AI safety. Like, I know the conversation is all about AI, but AI safety specifically, China is a leader. So this is central to their 15-year plan. Now, the UAE, if we compare the UAE's approach to AI in education and China, I think we are not talking about the same league here, because they are looking at AI safety as a prerequisite before adding it into education. Now, while we have gone to adopt it in K-12 education, there is a big gap when it comes to the safety and governance frameworks for this to be rolled out responsibly, right? So I definitely hope that's top of mind for our policymakers. And second is about digital literacy and AI literacy. Now, while we've adopted it in the education, it is crucial that we have this literacy for the ecosystem surrounding the children. So that can be the friends, the parents, the teachers, and it needs to definitely be child first, right? So while ChatGPT is widely used, now we have a need for literacy programs and workshops for this ecosystem, right? There are concerns of copyright, like lawsuits against Meta for copyrighted books, WhatsApp's AI chatbot sharing users' contact details, which are intensifying the risks of integrating AI in production. And lastly, rampant accommodation of AI in education now poses the risk of exacerbating issues of equity now arising from unequal access to technology.
Yeah, and that's why basically the program AI for Good is all about inclusivity and having AI accessible to vulnerable groups. And that's the main focus of the program. But what makes you hopeful? I mean, does China make you hopeful? And this is something we can mimic. What makes you hopeful?
Let me weigh in on that. Earlier this year, I was at the Governance of Emerging Technology conference in May that happened at St. Regis, Saadiyat Island. And I love that it brought together the UAE Public Prosecution, the Advanced Technology Research Council, and all the different departments from education, people working with child protection, to talk about the status quo as well as what they're currently doing with AI, right? So the numbers that Hannah mentioned from Lieutenant Colonel Dana about now them having 36 million cases to deal with, right? So those are global numbers they're talking about. And now they have to incorporate AI to automate some of this work. So how are they able to quickly filter through these cases and understand what needs their urgent attention at this point? So I really like that there's very positive initiation from the leadership to work with the tech implementation partners as well as the ecosystem partners to make sure we're building something that is safe, secure, and beneficial for us all.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Khawla, you mentioned at the beginning of our conversation, for AI to be effective, it also needs to be culturally and regionally appropriate. And for someone who's building a solution for the region, what are the cultural or linguistic factors do you take into consideration when you're building your solution? And what do you think is often overlooked in other solutions?
I mean, like I said earlier, culture should be at the center of any solution that we build for a specific community, right? So having cultural adaptability is very important because the way we express ourselves as a community is different in each part of the world. So from a UAE perspective, we lean a lot, like I said, on the community. We lean a lot on our parents, on our cousins, on our siblings. So having that all built into a solution that caters understanding all these nuances and speaking not only the language, the little behaviors and traditions that we have, and integrating it within the solution to make it very relevant, right?
Yes.
So that all happens, obviously, we build solutions from the ground, from the culture, and build on it by bringing, because a lot of times you have these universal or global solutions trying to integrate or enter a certain market.
Yes.
That will not work because, again, It's not a one solution fits all. You need to be aware of a lot of things to make it work, adaptability and adoption, customizing it to the culture. Like, for example, with my dear friend here, Olivier, we're going to work together on integrating his solutions through Takallam to cater it to what, again, our community reflects on, our community needs. Hand gestures are different here than any other part of the world, you know?
Yes.
There is a lot of cues and the facial expressions. So you need all of these data and local data to really help in building a solution that will work here, not anywhere else.
Yes.
And I'd like to call out on everyone to collaborate. We're working all towards the same noble, vision and mission. So we can only get to where we want to go if we collaborate together and work together as a community, from the amazing builders we have here to the authorities, to the parents, to the community. All of us, we work together to build the solutions that will work for us as a community.
Yes. Would you like to add anything?
One thing that is important is the technology that I'm bringing on its own is useless if I don't collaborate with local scientists, with people who understand the culture the way I do not. I bring a technical and scientific background and a solution that was trained on French, US people.
Yes.
And here, it's bringing the technology, but working with local scientists, with psychologists, with anthropologists, ethnologists, in order to understand what makes every interaction unique. And I think this is also what makes the training of kids in this country different compared to other countries that early on want to teach AI between quotes. It's not about teaching how to prompt. It's learning for kids to learn to grow in an environment where dancing with AI, with technology, is going to be key. And you learn that from philosophers, you learn that from scientists, but also from anthropologists, technologists, etc. You need all those areas to collaborate together in order to make sure that you got solutions that are tailored for the people, by people, for the people.
Yes, definitely. And Maryam Early Childhood Authority also works with a lot of startups, and you are always exploring solutions. So how can you, or how do you ensure that these AI solutions are culturally sensitive and tailored to our region?
Yeah, so as part of the Early Childhood Authority's efforts to do this, we have a flagship program called the Enjazi Startup Program. You may have heard of it. It's now in its 5th year, and inshallah we'll be working very closely with Hub 71 and integrating within their larger company builder program. And I think what we truly set out to do is to ensure that the local context and local market need was at the heart of our decision to invite companies from all over the world. So the program and how it works, it's quite literally a localization program. So supporting amazing companies, growth stage companies all over the world that are doing, have amazing solutions on problems across everything from health to education to cybersecurity, and attracting them to Abu Dhabi to solve the needs of our beneficiaries in our market on our behalf. And how we support them is through equity-free grants that support pilot opportunities, proof of concept opportunities, and also pairing them with those partners, both local partners, both public and private, that can provide them that foot in the market. So insofar, what really stood out to us in that experience was that localization meant something different for every company. So for a healthcare company, it's truly understanding, what would it take to even operate, quite literally in the market in terms of licensing and registrations, but also the clinical trials needed and so on. For an education company, it's very much getting opportunity to enter schools, enter the nursery, speak to parents, and start to engage with them to create content that's tailored to our region and our culture. As an organization, we pride ourselves in having the child at the center of everything we do, but that just speaks towards how important design thinking, product thinking, and empathy is in everything we design, from our policies to the laws and regulations and initiatives that we launch. Just an example of this, is in one of our projects, we are working towards creating a conversational AI for parenting. And of course, you can say these LLMs exist and they're doing great things, ChatGPT and so forth. But what truly differentiates this product, hopefully, in its success in the market is going to be what it gives a parent, an Emirati parent with very specific needs, and providing a response that feels like they're speaking to the relative.
Yes.
So how do we bring that depth of information? And that information does exist. Data and information and content has been collected over years. It's our job to curate that content, to ensure that the base and foundational content being used is ECA approved, DOH approved, has the correct information when it comes to sensitive topics around teaching and parenting their child in styles that match our culture and identity, really driving them towards collectivism and family cohesion as opposed to isolation and individualism. So these are just things that we think about. But of course, collaboration is really at the heart of this. And just earlier this year during the World Government Summit, we had signed a pact with 9 tech companies, ranging from Snapchat to Google to and other government partners, to ensure that we build together what it takes to create a safe environment, a digital safe environment for children.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We're a little bit out of time, so I'll ask Naira one question. We did have a Q&A session, but we won't have time. But I highly encourage you during the breakfast and networking to approach our panelists and ask them the questions directly. But I'd like to wrap up with you, Naira, specifically on safeguarding. Yeah. What is one concrete safeguard or design principle every AI product should have that is specifically interacting with children?
Right. I really appreciate Mariam's approach here to keep the child at the center of all things. There's something by Professor Rachel Thomas, who taught practical data ethics, about the people who have an intuitive understanding of the problem, in our case, children. They already know what to do, right? So as people in power, like the people who have an understanding of the problem often are heard the least, have the least power in the room. Like, we don't have a child here on the panel to have these important discussions with us, right? So what we can do as people in power is make sure that they have meaningful participation. So we have design labs, design thinkings, these packs, to make sure they are included, their voices are included in the design and the rollout. And the second is actionable recourse. When things go wrong, there's a timely way to get things resolved, right? That's not stuck in some bureaucratic process. They understand with clarity and transparency, this is how the issue is solved. Now, in terms of design principles, I think right now we're seeing children using AI services to talk about their feelings, get help when they're not seeing it from the environment around them, right? So there should be a clear, simple warning before they start, just like with cigarettes or with soda cans, right? So on a soda can, you might see a warning like drinking sugary drinks causes obesity, diabetes, tooth decay. These are child-safe warning labels. So similarly, AI tools can have kid-friendly warnings to let kids understand the risks and help them make the smart choices, right? We don't want to ban any helpful AI services. We just want to ensure that we're building it and using it safely. So the parents, teachers, tech makers, and communities can all work together to make this happen.
Amazing. Thank you so much. So one thing that has become incredibly clear from our conversation today is that no matter how advanced AI becomes, the role of parents, caregivers, educators, policymaker is absolutely crucial. And AI can support, teach, and even comfort, but it cannot currently model empathy, values, or human connection like the way adults, us, can do. So the responsibility still sits firmly with us. That's for sure. And we can't do that unless we educate ourselves. Coming back to Olivier's point at the beginning, we really have to also educate ourselves. And we have to understand the technology, we have to understand its benefits, its limitations, and as well as its risks. And I hope that this conversation was an eye-opener for you all. Thank you so much for joining us. In the next half an hour, so exactly until 11:35, we'll be back to start on the second section of the day, which are the pitches. We would love to see what the new generation has built to make the world a better place. So thank you for joining us.
Hi, everyone. Attention, please. Oh, thank you. You all went silent very quickly there. Hope that you enjoyed your breakfast, got a chance to speak to some fellow attendees, and I hope you all enjoyed the panel we just learned. I know there's some nuggets that will stay in my brain. So just a quick, sorry, I was in the light. The builders we're going to hear from today, they are the final 6% of all the applicants on the program. So we're really proud of them. We worked with them for 8 weeks in total, 2 cohorts, and they're going to shine today, and I hope you really enjoy everything that they've been working towards in the drive for AI for good. As we heard, it's a really big thing. We all need to add that human element in. And they are going to enter the room shortly. They're coming in now, so I hope you enjoy the pictures. Yeah. Yes. So as they're walking in, I'll just let everyone know what's going to happen today. We do have 15 teams. They will pitch for 3 minutes, and then the judges will have 3 minutes Q&A. We have our wonderful judge panel here. And then the next team will come down, and it will continue 15 times. After that, we'll have a deliberation period, and then the awarding ceremony. So 4 teams will be awarded today, but of course, we recognize all 15 of them that made it this far. Yes, question? Yes, so there is one award for the Abu Dhabi Youth Challenge by Early Childhood Authority, which will be 4,000 USD. And then the AI for Good track, the first prize will be 15,000 USD, the second prize 12,000, and the third prize is 10. And all my lovely builders are sitting down, I believe. So just to the builders, I wanted to address you all before we start as well. We're all super proud of you, and you're going to smash it. Okay. So the first pitch we're going to hear from today is Nibras. Yes. Come on down, guys. A culturally sensitive AI-powered app that helps UAE parents reduce childhood obesity through personalized meal plans.
Meet with me, Sarah, a mother of 2 in Abu Dhabi. Like many parents, she struggled with picky eating, too much screen time, and keeping her kids active. And she's not alone. In the UAE, 33% of children are overweight, and nearly 70% of kids under 5 exceed the WHO screen time limit. And only 25% of parents feel confident when it comes to managing their kids' health. So the question is, how can we help parents like Sarah make health a sustainable part of family life?
That's why we created Afia, a bilingual, culturally relevant digital companion that helps families turn everyday routines into healthy habits. In the short time we had, we reviewed UAE-based studies and mapped the daily journey of parents, helping us focus on 2 key pain points: managing screen time and encouraging healthy eating at home. Now, let's take a quick look at how Afia brings things to life. Afia starts with a simple family profile where parents can enter their children's age, interest, and dietary needs for personalized recommendations. They can easily switch between Arabic and English. Now, for our first feature, the meal recommender, let the parents enter the available ingredients at home and then choose a meal type. And after that, our app will generate a customized recipe. It will show us a step-by-step guide. It will also generate a shopping list, and it will explain why this meal is beneficial for their kids. For our second feature, it offers a wide range of screen-free activities customized for every kid, and it has a step-by-step guide. We also have an AI assistant that can easily interact with the parents and can offer answers related to their questions, while all the progress is being tracked on a family dashboard. So Afia combines all of these features in one app designed for UAE families.
When we look at what's already out there, most solution focus on single issue. App like Something Health are all in ones when it comes to feature, but they are not localized. Other like My Fitness Spa are more single focused. On the UAE side, options like Qatari Mama UAE exist, but they're limited. And this leave a gap for all-in-one wellness solution tailored to the UAE, and that's exactly what our products fit in. Our pilot, and now to turn this vision actually into real impact, we started with a focus pilot reaching 30 to 50 families in partnership with ECA. And from there, we integrate with local or national early childhood authorities, position Afia as a go-to digital wellness campaign. Our pilots require a modest investment of $7,500 to $11,000, and that covers tech development, Arabic localization, outreach, and evaluation, ensuring we can effectively test our approach on real families.
Over the next 3 to 6 months, we'll pilot Afia with up to 100 families across Abu Dhabi. We'll be keeping track of 3 key outcomes: healthier meal habits, reduced screen time, and increase of parental confidence. So these metrics will help us see what's working and what needs to be improved. It will also help us prove Afia's impact so we can expand across the UAE. So behind Afia is a team dedicated to making family wellness simple, because every healthy family starts with small action, and Afia makes that action possible. Thank you.
Thank you very much, team. So we'll hand over to the judges if there's any questions.
Okay, sure. You mentioned you needed money for technical development and Arabic localization. What exactly are you using the money for here? Because it seems both can be solved with just general purpose AI.
All right, we're looking for more personalization, or going deeper into the personalization and also gamification. And yeah, those are the 2 points we focus on.
Yeah, so basically we also need more, more people on the team to help us build different things, because we also need to have the interface better. So we need to UI UX designer, and also need to consult some specialized person related to this domain to help us make the some activities even better, more customized for the kids.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I'd like to know for the recipe which is customized, is it based on data from the generative AI, or is backed by a team of specialized in nutrition when it comes to children?
Yeah, exactly. So for now, you can say we're trying the more primitive way. So we're just like instructing the LLM, so how it needs to behave. As we mentioned before, at the end, when people signed up to our application, they enter relative information related to their kids, like their food preferences, their allergies, what they prefer. So all of this data is fed to the LLM with a very strict prompt to stick to UAE guidelines, to avoid the allergies, to use generate recipes with very low sugar and salt, and also to avoid choking hazards. So this is we're using the primitive way. But in the next phase, hopefully, what we will going to do is that we will have access to some UAE data set related to recipes that are just healthy, and maybe we can train our model and then use the RAG techniques in order to make sure that the recipes that we're getting are 100% healthy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. No more questions? All good. Oh,
hey.
Sorry, I didn't see you.
Sorry, I have one more question.
Okay.
So when you said there's quite a few of your competitors in the market already, and then there's like Samsung, who's all-in-one wellness, but still it's not localized. So what do you mean by localized? What are you localizing exactly? Is it just the type of foods, like majboos, for example? Or what is it that you're localizing?
All right, so our app is family-centered. We including the parents when it comes to the activity, for example, and not just for the kids. The whole family can participate in that part. And we bilingual, Arabic and English, okay? And yeah, for that cultural base when it comes to the meal recommendation as well as the activity.
And also regarding something said Ms. Mariam regarding her panel talk earlier, so she mentioned that they are working on something like the chatbot. They wanted to make it feel really, it's like she's talking to her relative. So that's exactly what we want to do later on. So we want to train the model on very specific data so that you can feel like you're really talking to someone from the UAE, not just a general LLM.
Okay, that's the end of the time for questions. Thank you very much. The second pitch we'll hear from today is Team MindScroll, also addressing the Abu Dhabi Youth Challenge. They're a digital wellness platform that transforms student screen time into a growth tool, offering AI-curated bite-sized summaries of books, articles, videos, tailored to their interests.
Hello, okay. Picture a 12-year-old glued to TikTok, snacking, skipping playtime, and sleeping late. Now imagine thousands of children in Abu Dhabi doing the same every single day. But what if that same screen time can actually build their health, focus, and motivation? Hello, everyone. We are Team MindScroll, and we're turning screen time to growth time. Today, children are growing up connected to devices but disconnected from their own well-being. In Abu Dhabi, students spend about 5 hours a day on screen, and 1 in 3 is overweight due to junk food and inactivity. To understand this issue better, we interviewed children across different age groups and teenagers and surveyed 30 individuals. All of them agreed that the current tools are too generic, track-focused, and boring. So we identified 4 key problems. Students move less, they eat poorly, consume shallow digital content, and lack motivation. And that's where MindScroll comes in. MindScroll is a digital wellness app that helps children build habits in these 4 areas. So each student has a personalized, each student has a personalized profile, and they get challenges and content that is designed for them. So let me tell you its features. In the nutrition tab, students snap a picture of their meals, and the computer vision model will detect the nutrition and give them points. In fitness, the student will select their fitness goals and complete the AI-generated challenges to achieve points. Then, the digital feed, which is our standout feature. So they can get these bite-sized, interest-curated videos that boost their knowledge. And finally, in the motivation module, it helps them boost confidence through motivational reflections and daily affirmations. Now, who actually needs MindScroll the most? Our focus is on the tech-savvy youth who need support to stay healthy, and their parents who want visibility into their child's habits. The real question is, do people actually want MindScroll? We asked, and 78% said yes. This tells us one thing. There's a real demand for MindScroll. And this demand became even stronger when the same students we interviewed, we asked them to test our prototype, and they actually validated it. Now, the market for MindScroll is global. In Abu Dhabi, over 180,000 children can benefit from our solution. That's a $2 million pilot market. And the global wellness apps market is projected to reach $1 trillion by 2030. So let me tell you how we plan to build this. MindScroll will serve both B2B and B2C markets. And for this, we estimate a cost of about $180K for the development cost, which we aim to sustain through premium features, subscription, and healthcare partnerships. Now, our pilot roadmap starts with identifying 3 to 5 pilot schools in Q1. We launch challenges in Q2, work on our features in Q3, and finally scale to 50 schools in Q4. So that's our team. We're not just building an app, we're making a movement for smarter, healthier schools. And we believe with ECS support, MindScroll can actually redefine what wellness looks like for the next generation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now, 3 minutes for the judges.
Yes, I can start. When you talk about the financial model, your financial model, which is up to 1 trillion, it's very promising. So can you please go to more details and about the resources, please?
Okay. So, well, we identified that in Abu Dhabi, there are about 180,000 children that fit the target audience that we're targeting. And if this app caters to them, that will actually give us a pilot refund of about $2 million. And the global, which considers internationally, that was because the digital wellness app market, it's projected to hit 1 trillion by 2030. So we do have a lot of potential for this app.
The study of the projection is by whom? The 1 trillion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's about the source, just to, because 1 trillion I can invest myself.
Can you give us 20 seconds to organize an answer?
We actually.
All right, so the idea is that we got it from the global market, but if you want specific source, we can get to you after the interview, after this.
Sure, thank you.
All right,
Thank you. Can you tell me one thing, and please be as specific as possible, about what is going to make you different from anything else that is out there, if you had to choose? Just one thing, and be very specific, please.
This. So we know that the children nowadays, they consume a lot of brain rot content. And I remember Ms. Khola saying about the 6-7 thing. Yeah. So what we want to do is optimize their screen time. And for that, we try to give them a choice to choose interest. So if I'm interested in art, entrepreneurship, and nature, I can choose that, and this app is going to give me videos that are based on that. So it helps them actually increase their knowledge instead of just, consuming shallow content and making things brain rot like that.
So I want to add on her answer. What makes us different from the solutions that children nowadays have is, so as you saw, we interviewed the children, and so we started from the core problem of what they are facing, which the apps that they have right now is so generic, it's not personalized. It has a name, the label is personalized, but it's not actually personalized from what we got from the interview. So that sets us different.
Thank you.
No more questions. Thank you so much. We're out of time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, team. I enjoyed you saying you didn't know the answer rather than making it up. A team lesson in diplomacy there. So we're learning from the third team pitching for Abu Dhabi Youth Challenge. This is Beyond Zero, an interactive AI-powered simulator that helps Emirati youth plan milestones, education, career, marriage, and housing.
Thank you. Every young Emirati dreams of a stable, fulfilling life. A good job, a beautiful wedding, and a home to call their own. But between all the grants, loans, and expectations, life planning can feel like a maze. Through our research, we found 3 main big challenges: rising average of marriage age due to financial pressure, and the rising of people being in debt due to weak financial planning. And 3 out of 10 Emirati youth understand financial basics of financial literacy, have financial literacy. That's why we built Zod, the first AI-powered application for life planning designed specifically for Emirati youth. Through Zod, it gives you the visual, seamless experience of dragging and dropping your milestones across a path. And our AI model gives you 3 personalized paths. Priority-based, balanced, and fast-paced track. Because there's no one-size-fits-all for all people planning their future, we decided to give them options. Our AI model also matches you with the best local support programs based on your eligibility and based on your goals. We also have Majlis Mode and Community for Peers. Majlis Mode is for families to contribute through shared goals. And also, we have the community where people can actually share their experiences and connect. So we have that human feel too. And also our AI companion, Zod, gives you simple nudges every once in a while to remind you to stay on track with your goals. You're 3 months away from your home goal. Increase savings by 5%. It's not just numbers. It feels human, hopeful, and alive.
Okay, as you see now, this technology we used. Give me. Okay. Okay, wait. We target youth. Okay, okay. Okay, give me. Okay, we target youth between 18 and 30, and we reach them through universities and social media. And we plan to improve our AI model with confidence, with continuous feedback, okay? Now we can go to competitive. Unlike traditional advisors, budgeting apps, or banks platforms. Unlike those combines a personal combining that gives advisors to specific to you, okay? Okay, the unique value. Now, our strength lies in AI power analysis and community learning and okay, wait a minute, please. Complete, okay. AI powered analysis and community learning and strength lies, okay? This is, please give me 1 minute. Okay, our strength lies in AI powered analysis, family collaboration, and strength lies. All connected with local support programs for marriage, savings, and houses. Okay. Partnerships and sponsors. Now we can go to the partnerships and sponsors, freemium and premium. That's what we can support our application. Next step. Next, we'll refine our AI with real data and partner with the Emirati Youth Organization to expand our impact. This is Zod, and this is us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we'll hand over 3 minutes to the judges. Go ahead, Abdullah.
Hi, thank you for that. What's your go-to market strategy? And
Our market strategy starts, as we said, it's going to start with premium plans, and we're going to try to reach. We're going to try to reach the students, as you saw, our goal market, or let's say targeted customers, are from 18 to 30. So we plan to reach them through universities and social media. So we start with partnerships with of course the local organizations, because we definitely need the support from there to get the information about the local funding programs, and also sponsorships from locals, and subscriptions based on to get extra features on the app, like explaining each thing, why this plan works for this person, and of course through ads and stuff like that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So it seems like a trending theme. You guys are all very ambitious and trying to solve great big problems. But when we try to zoom in and mobilize with our first step or first feature, in your case, I think it would be the support programs. Or so if you had to choose one support program, just one to start with, which one would you choose and why?
I would say housing fund, maybe, because it has the most impact for family formation, and it has a wider range of. I saw that NAFIS and other programs are not for everybody, so it's more people are eligible to join, from what I know.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Go ahead.
Can I know how did you validate this, and with how many people, if you did it with Emirati young people?
We still didn't, but we plan to do that through the pilot phase. I mean the launching of the application, where we get reviews from real customers, and to get the review from real usage. Any more questions?
Any last question? That's it. Okay, thank you very
so
much. So the last team we'll hear from today for Abu Dhabi Youth Challenge is Kadam. SafeKey is an intelligent Android keyboard that helps children interact safely online by detecting and mitigating digital risks. Thank you.
Tell me when the timer starts. Okay. Yeah, we're ready. Hello, everyone. We are the SafeKey. Basically, we are building the smart keyboard that prevents the risk on the internet. It sounds very bold. I will explain. How many of you believe in basic human freedom? Raise your hands. Risky input on the internet, risky outputs. Yep, I will explain it. So, yep, it was a tricky question. We also believe that internet should be free. And, but there's one problem. As one of the 3 internet users are children, they can be exposed to one of those 3 problems. We didn't put the pictures, obviously, for the ethical reasons, but you all know these problems. And internet is infinite, but the child's understanding of it isn't. What can we do? We cannot physically see every message that they type. Maybe some parents understand that. We believe that making digital hygiene should be simple as washing your hands. Everybody washes their hands, I hope. Here are 3 functions of our SafeKey. Answering your question, it does 3 things. First, it identifies the risky input. Then it notifies the child, like, what are you doing? Don't type that. And third, it notifies the parents so they would know what their children are doing. We do not show the message explicitly. We show the category of the message that they're inputting, like sensitive data, bank account information, and etc. Here, how it looks like. So you can see here we type some information, and oh my God, you can see that address. It's very bad if it's a stranger asking that question. Then parent gets notified. And we are also planning to build this dashboard for the parents so they could see how many times their children were under the risk, and we prevented that. And here's our architecture. So basically, we are using the DistilBERT fine-tuned model. It weighs around 500 megabytes, and it's trained on the Kaggle datasets with the personal identifiable information. It's built on Python, and we are, I will show you the demo. We are planning to build it on the Android first, and then the iOS keyboards. So it's not a separate application. Here you can see, yep, these are the categories that we are now using. It's the most important ones, like the phone, personal address. Maybe some of you recognize those as very hazardous, as we do. And here are the tokens. So here are the words input, and here are the tokens that show maybe it's hazardous information. This is the demonstration of the technology. So we type in any messages, and it shows us what kind of words are those. So it's basically the basic large language model, which is, again, integrated in keyboard. No separate application. It's as easy as using the hammer. And here are, I wouldn't say competitors, but people who we can collaborate with. Our main advantage is that we do not access the user data. It's all private, it's all on your device. So don't worry that somebody will access your data, see your pictures. We are not OpenAI, so it's safe. And our pilot, we are planning to do this project here in Abu Dhabi in the 6 months. So we are planning to work with local NGOs, not less than 50 families. And yep, we will see that. Hopefully, I hope you will support us on this journey. Here are the finances. So we estimated that we need around like $5,700 for the minimal viable product. Of course, if you invest more money, we can do it better. So we are planning also to integrate the screen analysis so we could see not only what children types, but also what they see. And here's the future. Of course, we will start from the small. Like, even the Dubai wasn't built in 1 day. It's been built in 50 years, which is incredible. We will, of course, require far less than 50 years, don't worry. We want to collaborate with the Google Family Link. Like, I just talked with the associate director from Google. Yep, they're ready to work with us. I hope so. That's what he said. And we're planning to expand to the Asia and to America, and of course to the MENA region to try to integrate the Arab language also. And here's the team that's building what protects this and next generation. Yeah, because everybody mentions next generation, don't forget about us. And yep, returning to my final first point. The freedom is a really important thing. We can see now that it's the thing that lacks everywhere. We can see the conflicts around the world. we need some freedom and a little bit of supervising, like a big older sibling that's helping us, like sharing their experience. That's what we want you to feel when using our app, our keyboard, sorry. So, yep, let's make the world better and free together. Thank you.
Thank you. Over to the judges for any questions. Yep, go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you. Very insightful. Who do you have to get approvals from to launch this? For example, when you said Google Family Link, do you need their partnership to roll this out, or what are the compliance issues here?
The compliance issues. So first of all, when we decided to do this, we wanted to basically. So the easiest thing to do is to see the messages, right, that the child receives. But it's like a spyware, so it's not possible. It's very hard to do. So we found a solution into watching what the child actually types it himself, right? And in these terms, there is no such constraints. Yeah. So
As a parent, how would I use it? I would just download something and on my phone.
What we plan, is just for now we are doing it on Android because it's easier.
Sure.
There is no, with the Apple it's more difficult to do it. So basically it's just download it into child's app, put your email of the parent, and if something if something happens, then it just basically emails it to the parent, and of course prevents the child from sending the information.
So no compliance or approvals needed for this.
Of course, there should be, and when we will launch it to the, for example, Google Market, right? Should be. We did some research, and there is a specific regulation that you have to accept for this thing, because it is also like basically spyware, right? So the regulation, of course, there is one.
But it's a local device, so
yeah, of course.
Thank you for this initiative. As parents, I believe this is very important for monitoring our children, but safely monitoring them. My question is, what make your solution any different than a traditional keylogger? A keylogger, it's when you type and every key press is captured.
Yeah, the difference is that it captures it, but it also analyzes. Yeah, as we said, we use Distilbert. Firstly, we use BERT, right? But it was very good, but it was a bit large. So we decided to do Distil, which is smaller and faster, in order to make inference faster, right? And what it basically does, it is a keylogger, as you said, but it analyzes, of course, and it analyzes on not just looking at specific word, right? It analyzes the whole text before that, and it sees. So it doesn't matter if the name is unusual for him. It's because Distilbert, it's analyzed the whole sentence.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, Andre, was your question very quick? Okay, Yeah, sorry, we're out of question time. So, thank you very much. The next set of teams we're going to be hearing from are tackling challenges for mobility. So we're welcoming Vitality Labs to the stage, a clinical intelligence platform that transforms pediatric rehabilitation data into personalized therapy plans.
Meet Aya. Aya is a 6-year-old that has been diagnosed with selective mutism, and she's been waiting 30 minutes to see her favorite doctor, Alia. But Alia is busy catching up with the work. She has to look at the documentation. What exactly did we talk about last time? How exactly am I going to engage with what happened? And that is the main problem that most therapists actually face. For every 1 hour treatment, they actually spend more than 1.5 hours in prep time. And the main reason is unstructured patient notes. And that's why we're building Masar AI. Masar AI is turning therapy notes into real-time pediatric insights instantly. We train our model on more than 2,000 patient data that we found on Hugging Face and Kaggle. And the main goal is how do we take the time from 60 minutes all the way to 15? while we have relevant information that the AI cannot just hallucinate. This is exactly how it works. So for every patient, the doctor can just take notes during the session. They can write them down, or they can just record the session as a whole. Now, what happens on the back end is that session is now analyzed from what happened previously, and how exactly can we now visualize it. Now, it updates all of these informations and makes some kind of suggestions to the doctor. This is maybe something we should look into, and now the doctor can take a look. And for the time that Masar AI did not exist, they can just upload all the information that they had about the patients, and our OCR model and advanced RAG system can just treat them and ask questions that the doctors can just see and interact with. Now, for the next interaction, Alia is fine. She's happy with her doctor.
Let's take a look at our go-to-market strategy. Even if we target just 1% of the entire UAE rehabilitation market, that's still $12 million US. Our strategy is to first start out with pilot programs with local hospitals and clinics, and then move on to integration with EMR systems and hospital software. Simultaneously, we'll also keep refining our product by gathering constant feedback, followed by complete market penetration. Here's what makes us different. According to our in-depth research, Masar AI is the only platform that combines NLP extractions, predictive analytics, and growth tracking metrics all in one centralized platform with clear visuals. Our pilot roadmap and our next steps. So our key success metric is achieving 99% uptime with 0 critical failures. And to achieve this, we'll work our way upwards from initial testing and deployment, followed by constant product market fit validation, while also ensuring that we're in parity with healthcare compliances such as the ones mentioned here. Now, this is an AI hackathon, so here's our AI stack. We have our core NLP component built using Hugging Face datasets and transformers, and this is one of our key differentiators. We have our extensive RAG component for which we used Pinecone, and this helps us go through large amounts of textual data at a really high speed. Now, additionally, we also went the extra mile and reached out to doctors and VCs. And we asked them to test our platform, and they provided us with great positive feedback. And any constructive criticism was implemented and resolved. Here's our team, comprising of people that have raised $100 million in operations, scaled products to 50,000 users, and worked at N42. It was a pleasure introducing Masar AI. Thank you.
Thank you very much, team. So we'll hand over for 3 minutes for the judges. Do you have any questions?
So I didn't understand the part that you said you were different from others. Can you just choose one, just one, and be very specific again and tell me how you're different?
Right, so we do everything from taking the document, converting that into a data format that's compatible with our system, and then analyzing the data and giving recommendations for the future. So we're all in one. So most of the systems we have in place right now does one of them and not all of it. So most of the EMR systems we have in therapy and medical hospital at the moment, it's like they have their legacy system and they just added an AI scriber to it. So all it does is like you upload a PDF to ChatGPT. Exactly what it does is the systems that are there right now, that's what it does. But what we do is more than that. We contextualize it for the AI to understand and give predictive information for the future.
Thank you. Andre?
When you say predictive,
yes.
Basically, are you focusing on one niche or one specialty? Because you need data for that.
Right. So at the moment, our niche is like around ADHD. So we have most of our patient data is from ADHD therapy and how patients have done throughout. That's our niche. But more data sets we get and more training we've done, I think we'll be able to focus more on particular niches within child therapy. So that's what we're doing at the moment.
So where is all of this data going to be stored? Is it like in your database, or is it in the clinic or the hospital that you're partnering up with? Or?
Right. So at the moment, we have 2 plans for this. One is either we can do a hybrid model, or where we have some data that's stored on, for example, like a cloud provider like AWS within the UAE, and then have some data which is inside the entity, that is the hospital or the clinic. And if we store it on the cloud, it's going to be all personally de-identified, so no information, and it's going to be anonymized. If it's on the premise of the hospital, according to the guidelines, we can store the actual information. So it depends on the needs of the clinic or the government. So we're thinking of either having closed source models like OpenAI or Claude, or open source models hosted on our computer. So it just depends on how, in the next couple of months, how these models are developing at very fast pace at the moment. So depending on what does better for our use case and our customer, we'll choose either an open source model and host it on our computers, or use one of the APIs.
Okay, any last questions? All good. Thank you very much, team. So the next team that is coming is Vital Lens. This will be the 6th pitch of the day. Kinesis OS is an intelligent operating system for pediatric rehabilitation that automates administrative tasks.
Hello. Thank you.
Give us
yeah, just testing.
just let everyone sit down 1 second.
Yeah, of course. We're keeping diving into the world for children with developing issues. So, are we ready? Okay. 3, 2, 1. Less paperwork, better outcomes. We are Violence, introducing Kinesis OS. The best pediatric rehabilitation therapists spend up to 40% of the time on non-clinical paperwork. And the broken feedback loop lead to higher therapist burnout and, more importantly, on-track assessment for children. It's more than the therapist problem. It's also for rehabilitation centers, for the concerned and confused parents, and most importantly, children with fragmented and delayed care. Our solution is Kinesis OS. It's a co-pilot for therapists, a clinical intelligence, merging multi-model therapy systems. Our approach is both top-down and bottom-up. From the top, our assessment to goal drafter creates personalized treatment plans, translating clinical observations into writing and actions. And from bottom up, our capture tools tracks a child's real-time progress within the session, all while ensuring complete data privacy. Now let's look at a demo. From the dashboard, we go to new assessment and select patient and behavioral measurement skill that we use. We use the skill to conduct psychiatric assessment. And for simplicity, we type only the conclusion for now. With one click, a comprehensive multi-goal treatment plan is generated. Therapists can discuss with parents, available in multiple languages, and make further edits before approving the plan. Now let's look at the progress dashboard. We see that the Copilot is already flagging some potential issues and alerts to watch. And treatment plan is broken down to specific goals on the left. Now the therapist is within the intervention room with the child. And our in-session tracker allows them to easily track the child's behavior while performing the rehabilitation. And obviously, Lena is doing a great job. And let's now go back to the progress dashboard. We see the data is instantly visualized and attached to a very specific goal. And we use a state-of-the-art LLM hosted privately to work with any existing EMRs, and our rack integrates authoritative sources like the CDC and NHS and the multiple others. We charge $150 to $200 per therapist per month, and clinics are willing to pay because every therapist loses 20 hours a month on admin work instead of facing the clients, the dearest children. Our goal is to achieve $250,000 ARR after year 1, and this captures only 2% of our serviceable obtainable market of $120 million in the entire MENA region. Why will we win? Compared to existing products that only store records, Kinesis OS is adaptive, it's intelligent, and it's personalized. Our pilot ability will demonstrate a 10 to 25% reduction in non-clinical preparation time. With a powerful case study with ability, we will begin our regional expansion. And with the strongest team you can find in the market right now, we are open to questions and some appreciations.
Hello. Over to the judges for the Q&A.
So, why you and why now?
Well, it's because we are a very clean team and slim team of experts in the ML, machine learning, in the security, in human object experiments, in human computer interactions, therapist rehabilitation, and then business expert in scaling and growing.
I meant why this specific? Why not others?
Okay, so I'll take from here. The reason is because the market currently, those are, as you've seen in the slide, those are not working on personalization. They are taking the data, they are making it as just, instead of the official paperwork, it is stored digitally. But what we are doing is that we are working with the current ICF CY framework organized by WHO. We are also taking the assessment frameworks available for cerebral palsy, available for DMD diseases, and other neuromuscular, and also for vision rehabilitation diseases. All these frameworks are then integrated into our system. Based on these frameworks, we are seeing what kind of assessment can be done. And when the assessment is given there, the people and the caregivers are also keeping the track. And when we talk about rehabilitation, we have to remember that this is not a one doctor's job. There are multiple teams behind rehabilitation. There are nutrient people, there are people who are processing your exercises, and all these people needs one place. We do not have any existing system till now that can provide you multimodal therapy. And this is why we win.
Thank you. Any other questions from the judges? Yeah, go ahead.
There are so many solutions out there that are targeting the admin burden of the physicians, and it hasn't been proven yet. Why are you convinced that this is going to actually improve outcomes?
So I believe this one is going to give us a good outcome is because if you see our model right now, I have talked to my university professors, and we are kind of trying to get the databases with the IRB approval and DUO. And in those databases, they have a score that shows us that what is the functionality, what is the feasibility are important to make it a proper rehabilitation system. And when we ran the data analysis, we find that yes, it is feasible for us to do, but it will require a lot of works, a collaboration of works, and it will require some time, obviously.
And currently, therapists are spending up to 40% of their time on reading, records and, converting the observation from, clinical trials and assessments, like those behavioral observations into specific treatment goals that you want to give to the child in the session, and working with the parents, working with the biologists within the team. And these are a lot of work on paper and outside within the entire facility that they have to do a lot to achieve. But our tool will unite all these processes all together. That will save them time to actually focus on the child themselves.
All right, thank you, team. That's all we have time for in the questions. So the next team also tackling a challenge for ability is NABRA. Their team is building an AI-powered interactive speech assessment game for children, combining AI gamification and early diagnosis.
This is Nabra. She seems bright and joyful, but she wasn't always like this. At 3, she was mumbling her first words. 5, kids her age were attending school and she couldn't. Months passed, years, and just when her parents were losing focus, were losing hope, speech therapy began for her. She was lucky, but many just like Nabra lose their spark, lose their interest for reasons as simple as staff shortages and overbooked clinics. So that's why we're here. We're Nabra. We're a speech therapy platform. So we offer diagnosis, we offer impairment diagnosis with reports. From the patient side, what we see is when a diagnosis session begins is the patient receives a series of sentences. So they would record their audio reading the sentence, and they will receive 2 types of results. So the first tells them, has the patient read the sentence correctly, which sometimes does happen. But in the case that it doesn't, we have something called phonetic transcription. So phonetic transcription tells the patient where the mistake occurred and what the mistake was. These results are sent to the therapist, so a report is generated, and we have a series of sections. These sections focus on letter-level mistakes. So there are some patients that have problems with R and L, C and K, for example. And with this, we also have something called a disorder to error matching. So what types of disorders are usually associated with these types of errors? Towards the end of the report, we have a few targets. So recommendation for the patient, for example, a few words the patient would benefit practicing. On the back-end side, we have 2 levels to our classification. So the first level is something called binary classification. Here we take the audio and we classify it as either correct or disordered. So in the case that it is disordered, that's when we move on to phonetic level decomposition. So here we take the audio, we extract phonemes, we compare these phonemes, they're disordered phonemes, to ideal phonemes, and from here we'll be able to generate a report and understand exactly what the patient is feeling. These are some of the tools that we have used. We use Gemini for report generation, React for our web development. So we plan to be a business-to-business model, and we offer an annual subscription, mainly targeting rehabilitation centers, clinics, therapists, etc. So what sets us apart? We focus mainly on medical diagnosis. So audio feedback does happen, or there are tools for receiving feedback from audio, but they focus mainly on language fluency, on accent development. So we plan to integrate this with clinics. So there is that clinical feedback that's happening, which is different. At the end of the day, you know, our target audience are patients, and we're here to detect errors that happen from a really young age, not when you're starting to learn a language, for example. So a quick brief from our pilot roadmap. We plan to launch and get feedback from patients, from therapists. From here, we'll be able to move to our next steps, enhance our AI, so getting data from Ability will help us become the first in the region and the world to provide a speech therapy platform for that provides Arabic support. From this, we can also move on to facial detection. So we acknowledge that false positives do exist, and anxiety can be one of the main causes for this type of false positive. Facial detection can help us distinguish between anxiety and speech impairment. So there are some things like eye twitching, unstable movement, that can help us distinguish between speech impairment and anxiety. Plan to gamify the platform, so provide it or target mainly the youth, collaborate to more clinics, and clinically validate. That's the team, and this is Nabra.
Thank you. Over to the judges. Go ahead, Andre.
I have 2 questions. First, when we say Arabic, you have many dialects and they change a lot. So are you starting with one dialect? That's number 1. Number 2, did you interact and interview some speech therapists to know more about their struggles when they are accompanying someone?
Okay, so first, can you hear me, guys? Okay, so first, regarding our system, it mainly works with English dialects first, because we were not provided with the data set. So we worked with what we have, right? So it works perfectly with English. Regarding the Arabic, we found a very interesting model that is called Artist, ARTST, from MBZ, that was launched back in 2023. We are planning to work with it, inshallah. It's a multimodal model that works with both Arabic speech and text transformers. So basically, what it does, it takes the speech and works with the acoustic encoder, and then it gives the embeddings in order for the system to understand it. So we do understand how to implement the Arabic, we just need the data set. When we discussed this with the center, they told us it's confidential. We can't get your data set. That's why we had it in our pilot roadmap. Now, regarding if we spoke with therapists, personally I did, yes. So one of them, and also I want to mention something, why our team chose this challenge. One of the team members have her brother suffering from speech difficulty. So we closely spoke with this person. We understood that pain point from 2 points of views, from the therapist herself and from the child, also the parents, how they suffer from understanding the problem that their children suffer from. So the main pain point is that when the child misses they don't go to their appointment, they rarely get other appointments in a very near matter. That's the main pain point for both the therapist and the child as well. So yes. Any other questions? Doing my job. Sorry, miss.
I forgot the question. No.
So I'd like to know, as a therapist, why? Okay, it's Becky's question.
Sorry. So who's going to pay you and why?
Okay, who's going to pay us is the clinics themselves, because we are providing them our services in order to use our platform. Also, there is one surprise, by the way. The data set that we found, my sister herself, our computer scientist, she found a very interesting data set that not only has the voices of the children who have the speech difficulty in words and sentences, they have the ultrasound of their throat. So if we use this in our system later on, we can provide the therapists themselves ways to get like more organized and personalized reports.
Later, but what's the initial pain point you're solving for the clinicians for them to pay you?
The main pain point?
Very
So-
quickly, please. The main problem we're trying to focus is that clinics are overbooked. And this doesn't just affect the therapist, but the patient himself. There's so many patients that have delayed education because of this reason. Because of that reason. So the main pain point is that clinics are overbooked, there are staff shortages, so clinics would look for this to automate their process. At the end of the day, this solution is integrated within the clinic, just like ERP systems.
Okay. Is your question very quick?
Yeah, I just wanted to add that we're not trying to replace the therapists, we're just trying to help them.
Okay, we got to... Oh, good. Okay, sorry, we're well over time for Q&A. So we thank you very much, team. The 8th pitch we will hear from today is ECMR. Their team is developing AI-powered platform that creates personalized speech therapy activities based on each patient's goals. And they're the last team solving for ability today.
Assalamu alaikum. This is ECMR team presenting to you Fasih AI. A recent research study have found that there is a high percentage of Arab children suffering from a speech and language disorder. This is why the challenge we are trying to solve is designing therapy activities aligned with individualized treatment plan and patient preference using AI for children with a speech impediment. The solution we developed is called Fasih AI, an AI-powered platform that allows speech therapists to automatically generate, adapt, and personalize speech therapy activities based on individualized treatment plan, and it helped the doctor design engaging and goal-oriented therapy session by suggesting activities that match the patient's linguistic ability and the therapy goals. Fasih AI integrates hybrid recommendation engine powered by natural language processing, behavioral modeling, and real-time speech analytics. What it does is basically the therapist input the individual treatment plan goals and basic patient information and attribute, and then Fasih AI generates contextually relevant exercises such as articulation drills, storytelling prompts, also like pronunciation games. And this is how it works. It must be noted that we are not sharing any personal identifier information or recording outside. And in the front end, the technology that we use to build our platform, in the front end, we are using Flutter. In the back end, we are using Postgres database hosted on Supabase. And in our machine learning layer is hosted in Render. So what is our go-market strategy? Our customer will be clinics, special needs schools, and rehabilitation center across UAE and later on in GCC. Our user will be therapists and patient with speech impediments. The model that we will operate on is SaaS, software as a service. So if there is an individualized therapist, he will pay a subscription fee of 150 dirhams per month, while institution will pay an annual fee of ranging from 3,000 dirham per year up to 10,000 dirham per year, depending on number of users and the feature included. Our platform is expected to reduce therapy preparation time by up to 40% and increase engagement of the patient by up to 25%, which means therapists will have more time focusing on treatment quality, while children will be engaged and progress faster. And so the only competitor we found is called Sierra, And Sira is an AI-powered platform that streamline speech pathologist paperwork, basically, documentation. While for us, we are generating relevant activity, supporting Arabic language, and learning from the patient feedback and history. If we were chosen, our project was successful, our pilot will run for 3 months with Ability Rehabilitation Center with 2 therapists and 30 patients. This is our team. Thank you.
Three minutes Q&A.
Can I drop the mic now?
No, we need it to work for the next half of the pictures.
Thank you for the presentation. I'd like to know, do you handle the localization, which means the multi-language, more specifically English and Arabic?
Currently, the interface is English, but for us, actually, we need to handle it similar way like Nabra. We need to find a language model that that have embedding that support different dialect, different Arabic. So first we need to find that, then we will modify it. Like based on that, we would start working. And just like Nabra team, Ability, they have the data set, but they told us we cannot have the data set right now. So even generating the plan based on what they have, we cannot do it right now. Later, when we start working with them, we can be able to do that.
Thank you. As a follow-up for my question, what's your projection for the first version to be released, let's say, if the project is selected?
I would say we need 6 months. First version, we will need 6 months to develop it. But we need a close collaboration with the team, with the Ability Rehabilitation team, because our project is very niche. It's a very, very specific niche. We'll be working with them based on Arabic children and things that we cannot find we cannot find it in the open source, like in GitHub and so on. So we need to work closely with them. And I'm sure it is not easy to work with, they already have their own schedule and they need to accommodate us. But I would say 6 months is enough. It would be enough to build a reasonable model.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the judges?
Thank you.
No dropping. Don't encourage this. So that takes us to the halfway point. So first of all, join me for a round of applause for the first half of the... They've done really well. So you do have a quick 5-minute refreshment break now, so you can exit the auditorium and then be ready with your brains and ears to listen to the next 7 pitches. Thank you very much. Please be back in the room at 1 p.m. sharp. Thank you very much. To listen to the next round of pitches. And one of my builders is not listening to me. Yeah. Sorry, I'm sounding like a strict teacher now. Please be seated. Is everyone ready for the next half of the day? I hope you stay with the same energy you've been giving them, been really enjoying them. And I think we can bring them in. Woo. For the judges. Okay, so the first half of the pitches that we just heard from was solving for 2 organizations. The first one was Early Childhood Authority. The second one was Ability, that focuses on autism rehabilitation. The next set of pitches that we're going to see are the next 3 organizations. So we have National Center for Mental Health from Saudi, National MS Society, and we also have AGF. So there will be 3 organizations we're focusing on for the next set of pitches. if everyone is seated, we can welcome to the stage the 9th pitch we're watching today, Rukun. Where are they? NCMH Pulse, an AI system using fine-tuned Arabic to analyze Arabic mental health feedback in real time.
Every Saudi voice tells a story of hope, despair, or well-being. However, today thousands of these voices are often gone unnoticed until it's too late. This is where Rukun comes in, an AI-powered system that takes in calls and messages and turns them into useful mental health insights. The National Center for Mental Health Promotion receives thousands of calls and messages every single year. However, their current system to analyze these requests is manual and tedious, meaning that spikes in distress often go unnoticed until it's too late. This can lead to a loss of opportunities for intervention and citizens left without timely support. Our solution, Rukun, which is an AI-powered feedback analysis system, listens, understands, and acts all in real time. It can understand Arabic speech, detect urgency and emotion, and visualize insights on an interactive dashboard. So let's have a look at our demo. Okay, so let's have a quick look at our dashboard. Here's my input. Let's say I am from Najran and I upload my input. I get the model output over here, and the Najran region gets updated live. And if I click on the region, I can see its live tag with the total number of inputs, the sentiment distribution, the flag requests, which I can review. Let's say done, submit review. And you can also see a recent alert. So under the hood, Rukun uses open source models such as Whisper for Arabic speech to text, Marburg for language understanding, and Superbase for cloud-based storage and real-time updates. The process is simple. We get the data from NCMH and process it safely to maintain anonymity of the data. Then we pass it to our system, which it analyzes and then visualizes it on the dashboard. And then the NCMH operators can act upon the insights. So our primary users are expected to be the NCMH leadership and the NCMH operators. Our end users, which are expected to be more than 80,000 Saudi citizens annually, are expected to benefit indirectly from improved and more efficient mental health services. Through Rukun, we hope to improve months of analysis time to just mere minutes and achieve an accuracy of more than 83% on high urgency cases. Unlike traditional and generic tools such as TalkDesk or IBM Watson, Rukun is built for Saudi voicing, meaning it can understand cultural tones and detect urgency, and of course understand local dialects such as the Najdi dialect and etc. So Rukun, again, it's privacy compliant, it's real time, and specifically it's made for Saudi culture, which currently no other tool offers on the market. So for our pilot, we hope to start with a 3-month pilot at NCMH, where we hope to improve our models and scale them nationwide. Because our goal with Rukun is to make it an integral part of the Saudi mental health ecosystem. Because when every voice can be heard, we can shape mental well-being in real time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Over to the judges. Any questions, please? Yep.
Thank you for the presentation. I'd like to know what's your financial plan.
So, as we said, it really depends on the needs of NCMH, because what we did right now was just using the bare minimum just to make an MVP, and depending on the infrastructure that NCMH wants us to use, the cloud, if they want us to use it on the local database, or whether they want us to use on cloud-based structure, we are flexible pretty much with our financial. The main financial cost will of course come from model training, because we need to refine our model furthermore. And yeah, pretty much it. There's no fixed cost. There are some costs mentioned over there, but that's not for the Saudi market. That was taken from US markets. So it's not an very accurate reflection, however it can estimate of what we can expect at least.
What's a revenue model, or like who's paying you and how much and why?
So our system is not a system which we are planning to sell because it's developed specifically for NCMH. So it will be developed closely in collaboration with them, and depending on how they want to do it, if they want to buy it from us, we'll sell it to them. Otherwise, it's going to be used by them. So it's not something which we are going to be selling to other companies. It's specifically designed just for NCMH. So it's not like any B2B SaaS or any other fancy.
Thank you. Any last questions from the judges? All good. Thank you very much. So the next team we're going to hear from is Shaheen. Yep. An AI-powered mobile companion for Saudi youth that transforms daily feelings and challenges into personalized, culturally relevant visual stories.
Right. Okay, I think this works, but I need to be very close to the mic, right? Oh, the phone is there. Can you raise the mic just a bit? Maybe not too much. I think this is good, right? Perfect. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Shaheen. My name is Dr. Ali Galadari, and this is Naqiya, and we also have Calvin. So, ever since we were kids, we were raised to restrain ourselves, to be patient, to not talk. But then, 1 in 3 Saudi Arabian youth have anxiety because of that. In fact, 60% avoid help. It's not just a one-person sort of problem, not 2, not 3, it's many. And out of those many, 18 million youths exist in Saudi Arabia. Now, we asked the question, can technology speak our language of emotion in Arabic with empathy and in our own rhythm? So, this is where Shaheen was born, an AI in healthcare that nurtures empathy and expression. So, our mission is to turn every feeling into a story and every story into strength, such as Al-Khansa, Tariq ibn Ziyad. Can you give us a bit of that taste, Naqiya?
Thank you so much. So, meet Ahmed. He is a youth from Saudi Arabia and he opens the Shaheen app. It asks him a simple question. How are you feeling? Tired and overwhelmed, but I don't know why. The Shaheen app, with consent, takes his feelings and turns it into a 4-panel comic strip. It allows him to select a character and turns it into a story of him being the hero and overcoming his feelings. He can post it to the Shaheen feed, and other users, his peers, can leave responses, listen, and leave feathers of hope. What are feathers of hope, you might be wondering? These are micro expressions of empathy that we incentivize. Leaving a positive comment on a peer's post will allow you to gain points, which you can redeem with our CSR partners. So how do we plan to ignite the spread of Shaheen? We plan to leave these devices called Shaheen spots in youth hotspots across the country. So cafes, coffee shops, just as easily as you stretch your phone out to pay a bill, you can stretch your phone out and tap it against the Shaheen spot, and it'll redirect you to the app to give you a daily dose of positivity.
So you think, wow, this is a work of art. But it's not just a work of art, it's even embedded in science. In fact, narrative science. And one of them is Rita Sharon, one of my heroes. She started with narrative medicine at Columbia University since 2004, and Ian William from Ireland followed her in 2017. You were like, okay, Alia, 2004, 2017, that's early. No. Starting from the early 1900s, 3 queens of Mysore, they stood in front of a portrait and paused there, convincing millions of Indians to take the smallpox vaccine from the colonizers, which were the British. And it worked.
So our technical stack consists of a mobile app and an API stack, including a locally run OLAMA to prevent any data privacy concerns, ARTST by MBZU AI for our Arabic language and processing, and Stable Diffusion for image generation. We also have our proprietary NFC devices. Our collaborators include NCMH, who we plan to redirect at-risk users to, and GCC practitioners and providers across the region, like our very own Dr. Alia Galadari. And we found that competitors in Saudi Arabia focus on clinical mental health and not community-based, and the global community-based applications are not tailored for this region. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions from the judges? Andre, please go ahead.
Test, okay. Very interesting. I like the pitch, I like the idea. Can you please repeat what's the age of your target audience?
Sure. So that's a question that people keep on repeating, right? So it focuses mostly on those who are 13 and older, because if they're less than 13, there needs to be certain data protection sort of measures and so. But it depends on each and every range. So those who are younger than 13 years old can be accompanied by their guardians, their parents, and they can go and skip through this sort of application, but there are certain limitations to that. The older they get, the more complex it becomes. Even some of them can reach to the level of CBT, habit reversal therapies, and so on.
Thank you for the presentation. My question, what's the ultimate goal from this?
We plan to build a community for Saudi Arabian youth so they can express their feelings without feelings of shame, because you're expressing it through a character, through a story, not through yourself, and build community support in Saudi Arabia, which is currently lacking.
I just want to share one thing. It's just a passion, by the way. So this started, I've implemented it in my practice as well with my patients and everything. I just had a workshop that I couldn't attend, so my colleagues have to be there. Tomorrow we also have another workshop going on, and we started the momentum on social media, so we connect art and medicine. It's going on, it's everywhere. I thought I was the only one. I met Massimo Papi since 1990. Apparently he does that, so it's great. Thank you.
All right, any last questions? No, all good. So thank you very much. So the next two teams we're going to hear from are solving for AGF, and this team is Bidaya. A solution is a web-based AI assistant that helps high school students explore their strengths, interests, and career paths through gamified challenges and guided reflections.
Hello, I'm Bidaya, the start of your self-map and your journey to discovering your skills and passions. Oh, still on the default template, huh? Haha, that's okay. Every great idea starts simple, just like me. A simple idea to help you discover your passions, but developed to help you a lot more than you might expect. Anyway, enough from me. Let's rewind to the read Bidaya.
Hello everyone, we're the team behind Bidaya. I'm Tertir and this is my partner Jenna. We've all been students before, so we've heard the question, what do you want to study? That question assumes every student should know how their path will end. However, research by education data shows that 40 to 50% of students worldwide change their major because they choose a destination they've never actually visited. Moreover, students see where paths end, the prestige, the salary, the title, and they underestimate that journey. So what if we could bring the expectations that they have and their journey all to them in their beginning of their undergraduate studies?
Oh, hello again. Welcome to my home. Notice something? No quizzes, no multiple choice, no more pressure piled onto already overwhelmed students. She's only seeing the word, but behind them, I see patterns. I start to learn, recognize, and notice the traits that make her unique after a few days of just reflection. And for you quick explorers, I can instantly map your strengths to the majors and careers that suit you. But after all, I'm just an algorithm, bits and bytes, and sometimes that's not enough. So, real voices take over. They become a compass, guiding every learner to their real beginning.
Now, you might be thinking, isn't this another career tool like Holland Code Test or even student counselors? But every tool of these ask the same exact question. What are you good at? But Bidaya says something different.
What does that actually look like?
We're the only tool that shows high schoolers the end, real graduates living real days before they commit to the beginning. We don't predict paths, we make them visible. Which answers the question AGF needs to answer. What's the cost of choosing a wrong career? 200,000 dirhams? Or 4 years or more of student's life? Bidaya's cost is 5 dirhams only, per students per year. 5 dirhams to prevent a 200,000 dirhams mistakes. And it's not just a cost. It's the best investment any school could ever make.
Before you go, here's what to expect from me. I'll listen to students finding who they are. I'll learn what drives them, what stops them, what makes them dream. I'll show them worlds they never stepped into through VR. And as they grow, I'll grow with them. But this isn't the end. This is just the bidaya.
Thank you. Any questions from the judges, please? Go ahead, Abdullah.
Is there any similar products in the market currently available in universities, schools?
No, because the other career tools that we mentioned, like Holland Code Test, are all MCQs or quiz type formats. Ours is the only one that's based on reflection or real life advice, because the API that we used is kind of like a rule-based or note-based algorithm, because we want to avoid bias as all time. So the other career tools have heavy bias. So we're the only tool that has these features.
B2B, B2C, what's your major customers?
Our testers, we haven't tested yet, but our main thing was Streamlit, Python, and we used real-life experience.
You mentioned biases, and it's super hard when you go into career guidance not to have biases, even in languages, whatever it is that you're using. How are you countering this, and did you try it on one case? Can you tell us more in details?
Yes, so bias is, there's a lot of factors of bias, whether it's cultural, for example, highest prestigious is like doctors or engineers, which is not that true, or like family, for example, I come from a family of doctors, for example. So it's everywhere. So the way we avoid it is that we don't have external accesses to the data, it's just the student and Bidaya. So Bidaya recognizes the frequent words or the skills or passions that the student mentions a lot, and then it gives us tasks to align it. So basically, it's kind of like a self-map that Bidaya does. There's no external advice or information. It's just the student and the Bidaya. That's it.
Yeah. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Just because I'm interested, I need to ask more. Good?
Yes, yes, of course.
But keep it short, please. Just keep it quick.
Yeah. Because if you're talking about the language they are using, it's already biased by their environment and their parents. Are you trying to trigger other maybe reflections from these users?
Yes, so another feature that makes us unique from other career tools is that we don't only focus on the academic skills. We added the soft skills as well, because that plays a huge major. For example, when we went to engineering, we didn't understand there are so many soft skills like analytical skills or patience, or like there's a lot of soft skills. So we added that as well, because that filters out a lot of majors as well. For example, a student could come in and say that they're really good at math. You would recommend engineering, for example. But if they add the soft skills as well, or something they like, for example, I like art, right? That doesn't just give me, for example, a mechanical engineer. That might give me like an architecture, because that involves art. But then let's say I don't have much patience for drawing, right? That gives me another path. So we don't focus on academic only, because that's the cultural bias that we have. We also have soft skills in it.
Okay, thank you. Very, very quickly, please.
It's just an addition, not a really question. For Bidaya, it will be, I don't know if you thought about this, because there is a difference between giving someone a recommendation of something based on passion or based on market study. For example, there is some professions which has more, we can say, potential in the market, but other profession is more like, it's my passion. I like to draw. But draw is not making me earn a living. But software engineering, as per the market, can be a recommendation, for example.
Yeah, we had that in mind for our pilot, especially with the 2031 vision. So yeah, we have that in mind for sure.
All right, sorry, I'm going to have to cut you all off. You can continue chatting after. Thank you very much, team. So the next team we're going to welcome to the stage is Safina. So this is the second team that is solving for Al Ghurair Foundation. ready to go.
Right now, 73% of youth in the GCC region face anxiety due to job searches. 68% avoid seeking support due to stigma. And fewer than 15% continue on using mental health wellness apps beyond 2 weeks. In a region where 1 in 3 youth face unemployment, it's an emotional crisis of confidence. This isn't just silence, it's causing a generation's resilience. Most mental health apps lack cultural nuance. They offer disconnected advice which feels cold and judgmental. And most job apps focus on the career and ignore the emotional journey. Meet Safina, a cultural AI companion. No login, no judgment, just a safe space to say I'm lost. It's focused on the GCC and Arab youth, and as we mentioned, it helps you overcome mental health issues. Here's a demo. It focuses on 4 core features: a daily check-in where you can share your feelings, a blossom map to visualize your growth, and a career tracker to track your applications and wins, as well as a Hikaya hub where you can read stories of people anonymously and get connected. So this is the home page. It's in 2 languages, Arabic and English. You can record what you want, or you can just use an emoticon. Here you can see your blossom journey. Here you can track your resilience pathway, how many applications you sent, how many rejections, and so on and so forth. And here are real stories of people, like from 10 rejections to ADNOC, as well as job opportunities to help them improve their career, because healing and hope go hand in hand. What makes Safina stand out is that it's one of the few apps in the market that's just focused to this region. It also offers emotional and visuals, as well as advice and quotes from our culture, and even like Quran verses. It's a data-driven community with an emotional resilience index, career metrics, and community engagement, and has other features like real-time youth insights, SDG-aligned reporting, and open source scalability. Our go-to-market plan is to pilot Safina with youth cohorts in UAE and KSA, co-develop dashboards for policy and program impact, scale across national platform and SDG initiatives. Safina isn't here to fix you. It's here to remind you that your journey matters, you're not alone, and your feelings are valid. Because as I mentioned, healing and hope goes hand in hand. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Q&A from the judges, take it away.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
So what exactly is proprietary about this? Just tell me one thing. Like what is something that you own that no one else has? That what's unique to what you're doing?
It's anonymous, and you can use it without, like, for example, feeling ashamed, because we all know how like mental health is such a taboo subject in our community. So it's not like, you're going to a therapist, or like someone can see you or whatever.
So how is it different from ChatGPT, for example?
Well, because it's like on our future plans, it will be trained on like different models with our culture, so that it will be more accurate, offering advice of our society.
Yes, just to add on this, it will be like a very good trained model over our the Gulf region, and even the MENA region as well. And it will give like a companion results. That's the point. It will reflect even the emotions. And one of our major key advantages is that we are the application that merging between the job seeker applications and at the same time the mental health. So it can support the youth for their journey of joblessness, to support them in the both ways. So we give the companion of both. Yes. We would love to have, if there is any other questions.
No more questions
for our Safina.
Any more questions? All good. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
So the remaining 3 teams will be solving for National MS Society. We'll welcome to the stage Team Jasur, who's an AI-powered companion for individuals with relapsing, remitting MS that combines smartwatch and mood data to provide personalized mental health support.
Sarah,
33 and a mother of 2, has multiple sclerosis. One day, her husband walked in to find her unresponsive on the floor. Her body had been screaming for weeks, but no one heard. Today, Sarah can't move on her own. Sarah's story is not unique. It is one among 2.9 million MS patient stories worldwide, and the problem is clear. Early signs of relapse often go unnoticed. Data is fragmented among devices and doctors, and most importantly, without home-based care, mobility and mental health are at risk. Now imagine if Sarah's body could speak to her doctors before the crisis. This is where Jusur comes in. Jusur, meaning bridges in Arabic, bridges the gap between doctors and patients. Now, MS apps these days are fragmented. There's one for symptoms, one for mood, one for reminders. But we are taking a different approach. Now, let's go through Sarah's day with Jusur. She starts with a quick voice check-in to talk about her mental health that day. After that, she can check her medical reports and tests and look at all of her data analytics. After that, she can, with one button, she can access the emergency hotline or even trigger her care team. To get AI-assisted daily personal exercise, she fills a quick form, talking about her symptoms and her mood. After that, she is able to track her sleep, heart rate, and steps, all connected through her Fitbit or Apple Watch. An overheating tracker can be found on our app, which is an issue that a lot of MS patients struggle with. If a trigger is found, her care team will be called immediately. She's reminded to take her medication and can book daily appointments, since our app will be integrated with UAE Pass directly. The most important feature, journaling. She's able to talk about her mental health, and with her consent, this information can be sent to her doctor. Accessibility is something we care about a lot. So she can change her font size, line spacing, color, and language. And she can even talk into the app to move to the next page. So she can say, go to the home page, and the app will do so without having to hurt her fingers, since MS patients struggle a lot with that. Now, like I said, MS apps are usually fragmented, but our app combines 8 key features, 4 of which do not exist in other apps. Now, technically, our app is built on React Native, and in the future, after deployment, we aim to partner with UAE Pass for authentication, HealthFit and Google Kit for iOS and Android users. Now, it's powered with a GPT-4o chatbot, filled with medically guided prompts, and web speech API for transcription. Now, how do we make our features come alive? We partner with MS clinics and rehabilitation centers. Through revenue sharing, we get access to consent-based patient data. Now, after we launch, we aim to conduct a pilot launch and then get survey and data analytics from our users to make sure that our app is built around real patient needs. Now, in the future, we aim to have better communication channels and more proactive well-being AI agents, since mixing AI and emotions is very tricky, as was discussed in the panel today. This is the amazing team behind Jusur. Now, imagine if Sarah had Jusur. Medical intervention would have happened and her crisis might have been prevented. We are building the bridges so it doesn't happen again. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Over to you, judges. Any questions? Go ahead, Ayman.
So don't you think how easy is it for the competition to just add features to level up to what you aspire to do?
Sorry, I don't understand your question.
So you're saying that you have 8, when you saw the feature set compared to competition, why haven't they done or added these features? And is that really the barrier to entry there?
Well, I think our app stands out because, yes, you are right. All of these apps could integrate these features, but they have not thought of them. Also, a lot of them don't integrate AI or voice transcription, which is, I think, our most selling point, because MS patients struggle a lot with using their fingers and with overheating and such, all of these issues. I think the competition just didn't think of these ideas yet.
Any other questions?
How do you project let's say, for 6 months, 1 year, and what's your revenue model? How do you monetize it?
Okay, so I'll take the timeline, if that's what you're speaking about. After we launch our app with an MS group, so like a focus group, we aim to get data analytics from them and surveys and feedback, and then improve our app. So after that, this will take maybe like 6 months. After that, we'll be able to deploy our app with all these changes. Now, onto the financial aspect, I can allow my team members to take over.
So as you said before, we want to collaborate with the rehabilitation centers and the clinics. We target something specific, which is basically the wearables. So these should be designed specifically for our goals. Because, for example, in Apple Watch, you can't find heart tracker. Therefore, we want them to be designed specifically for our use case. And so we want someone to fund these wearables. So once these wearables are purchased by patient, or for example, the patients pay for a subscription for this applications, the wearables would be gifted with them, because this app cannot function without the wearable.
Thank you.
Okay. I think that's all for the questions. Thank you very much, team. So the next team is also solving for National MS Society, so we'll welcome Next Gen to the stage. It's an MS companion, adaptive AI-driven app that supports people with multiple sclerosis through personalized rehabilitation plans and early alerts.
Hello, everyone. Imagine waking up every day to a body that betrays you, to a fatigue that's so profound that makes waking up every day feels like a victory. That's the case of millions of people. That's the case of millions of people with chronic disease. Half of the patients are failing to adhere to their medication due to fatigue or lack of motivation. Solutions in the market are already there, but they're either utterly clinical, they are lacking the usability, or that are either social media network, which are unstructured. Hence our solution. We're built on 3 core pillars. First of all, the AI support. Our AI is proactive. It coexists with the user. It prompts the user when they didn't take their medication. It prompts the care provider through their portals, and the motivational community, which we're proud of the most. We integrate human into the process, so there are peer forums, supportive chat, and gamified experience. So we're integrating the rich analytics, the community, everything into one human-centric ecosystem. For caregivers and doctors, they can use the system to write prescription, monitor the patient if the patient chooses to, and for the caregiver to ensure the patients are taking their medication. These are some of the features of our system. We'll go through them right now. This is the main dashboard, where you can just check the streaks, the entries you have done. This is reflected on the caregiver dashboard if they choose to. For the entries, for accessibility, we noticed that text entry wouldn't be the best option. So we have voice entry, image entry, whichever form you prefer, we process it and we fill the journal for you. You just choose your mode, your symptoms, and all through scrollables. Unless you've done the voice, then it's all processed. In the main dashboard, you can see the most common symptoms, how severe they are. So does the doctor. And you can chat with your doctor for quick access. This is the community, where you can turn your story into motivation for others. This is our AI. You can always choose what to share. This is our safety railway. So you just choose what's being shared, the data retention. And while talking to the AI, you choose how far past you want to share your records. Also, for accessibility, got the AI voice, where it can reply with voice. This is our architecture. Any input in, out of the system, goes through the safety agent. It checks for any critical info, for anything. Everything is then encrypted, passed to the router. Then it goes to the specialized agent. We got different agents in the system for knowledge, web search, and so on. We have our knowledge base, where everything is aggregated and synthesized at the end. We built and developed the product. We're now in the piloting phase, where we need your help the most. And then we're planning on predictive analytics, and then integrating wearables. This is the team behind the scene. Feel free to scan the QR code. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any questions from the judges, please?
So you said the AI just prompts you when you didn't take your medicine or something. Is it also integrated within like the Apple Watch and something? Can it also monitor your heart, monitor other stuff?
Yeah, so right now the future of all AI is no more going to the AI. It's more proactive. That's what we're trying to do. So when we integrate wearables are not yet integrated. But what happens, this data goes to the system. Then the agent that does the proactive actions just check on that. So you have an issue on your heart rate, it would prompt you what's going on. Same goes with the medication. If you didn't take your medication for a couple of days, to prompt the caregiver and say, hey, they are not taking their medication.
Thank you for the presentation. If I may ask for the knowledge base, how is it structured and what's the size or the projected size?
Yes, so the knowledge base it's a vector database. It's aggregated from different sources. One of them for the NMS reports, some other sources from other clinics and so on. They are publicly available. We got these, we vectorized the database, and we built it from like all the main challenges the patient face, the main key areas where we can support, and everything is there. If the model fails to find anything in the knowledge base, it checks the web. Security agent again checks that info before it goes into the user.
Do you have an idea how large is your knowledge base in terms of sizing?
Like kilobytes or like
If
yeah,
it's,
like
if it's kilobyte, yeah.
No. Like I'm just asking. Like technically, I don't have the number in my head, but it's huge. That's all I can say.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any remaining questions? All good.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So the last team we will hear from today is also solving for National MS Society. So it's Team SOCIA, explainable NLP assistant that automates eligibility checks, compliance review, and reviewer matching for research grants.
Adam, we have 3 more proposals left. We just got them from NYU, and we need you to review them. We don't have much time.
Stop it, I can't. I don't have enough time. I've spent all night checking eligibility forms, and I can't review one more proposal. Come on.
You see, that's the issue. The current process, the NMSS research grant process, is slow, manual, and inconsistent. Reviewers spend most of their time working on admin tasks rather than the actual science. And this results in what we call reviewer fatigue. In research funding, that's millions lost annually due to delays in manual checks. Reviewer efficiency drops up to 40%, and they receive delayed response and proposal status. This is our demo. So you can see from the researcher's end, you submit everything: your profile, your ORCID ID. Yeah, your ORCID ID. You go over everything. You submit your profile, and then you go over your proposal itself. You get an auto-generated summary of your AI through our Synapse system. You upload your funding documents, your ethic documents. It also summarizes that for you to see if it's in alignment with NMSS's priorities. And you get a final AI check and clarification questions if you're missing anything as per the funding documents. Now, for the review, we're going to go over the pipeline as well, so you can explain that.
So this may seem like a complex problem, but it's very simple. We split it into a 3-stage pipeline, where we first take in the user's profile, their proposal, that's sent over to our RAG engine, which uses medically backed models like PubMedBERT and BioBERT, and then LLM as a judge, and then checks NMSS's guidelines to make sure that everything aligns with their system and guidelines. We review we finalize the review, and then we present our output to our reviewers to take a decision.
So from the reviewer's end, you're able to see the entire proposal. Synapse generates an AI-powered assessment that goes over everything, including the strategic alignment, the principal investigator assessment, so the actual person behind the proposal, and it goes over the score, the budget analysis, TRL level, and you're able to submit it at the end. So we still keep the human in the pipeline while keeping our system running. And that's the beauty of it. We connect the researcher to the reviewer, reducing the time taken for this entire grant process from close to 12 weeks sometimes to just 2 to 3 days. And the market for this is huge. It's $5.2 billion for a total addressable market, and we plan to capture 2 to 5% of that in the next few years. For our plan, we first plan to validate this with the neighboring universities who are already working on NMSS research, NYU, KU, and UAU. Once it's validated and the entire pipeline is fit towards the NMSS guidelines, we plan to scale this institutionally through our B2B model where we're charging per 100 applications. This is the team, and thank you.
Questions from the judges, please?
Is there anything else out there that is competing or potentially competing with this?
As of now, they're more towards other sides of research grants, not NMSS specific. We spent research talking to doctors from KU and NYU, Dr. Andreas, Dr. Herbert, and also talking to people from NMSS itself to personalize the system towards their guidelines, their funding, their ethics guidelines, and so on. So in short, no, not right now.
Okay. Any other questions? All good from the team?
So, okay.
Carry on.
So what's potentially, what do you think is going to be the biggest, barrier to adoption in your case?
I mean, there's of course the geographic barrier of entry, where to develop a solution like this, you'd probably have to be in the UAE, talking to these people, to the NMSS people, and we were grateful enough to have these direct connections through startAD and through a previous competition of ours where we talked to Mohammed Belfiqi from NMSS, and he went over that entire admin system. He got the problem statement. And another barrier of entry is the understanding of these models. So we're using PubMed BERT and BioBERT. These two models are open source. And implementing them, we'd spent weeks on the research on how that works and how it aligns with the NMSS itself. So it's more of it's a mix of technical and geographic barrier of entry.
Okay. So that actually wraps up all the pitches. So before we, yep, exactly. One step ahead of me, all of you. I was going to say, let's give a round of applause for the builders. We will have a 15-minute deliberation period for the judges to decide. And also, while we're thanking people, we are going to thank, drum roll, the wonderful judges. So thank you very much. Photo? Oh, sorry. You're not on my team. Don't tell me what to do. I got confused, everyone. So we have 15-minute deliberation. The judges will go away, and then we'll come back, and we will let everyone know who the final 4 teams have been decided. Thank you very much, everyone. 15 minutes is 2 o'clock on the dot, please, everyone. Thank you.
No, the results will be on the laptop. Unless you have your own notes on the laptop, then bring it with you. Okay.
Okay, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. Are you ready? Firstly, great job, everyone, today. It's really been a fantastic day. The energy is amazing. I have the results in front of me right now. I'm sure you all want to know. Okay, so I'll just give you some to set the expectations when we announce the awards. Can you please stand up, come to the stage? We'll take a picture with you and you can sit back down. That's pretty much it. Okay, and for the Early Childhood Authority track, we have Mr. Abdullah who will come and announce the winners. Yeah, with the mic, and then as soon as you announce the winners.
Sure. Hi. So the winner from the ADYC track is Safekey.
Thank you.
Because Rami is too high.
Thank you so much. Congratulations. Congratulations. Great job. Okay, just so we don't get the currency mixed up, it's actually in USD. That's a nice multiplier immediately. Okay. 3x, yeah. I hope your journey continues this way. All right, third place, Socia. I should go down. Also USD. Okay, just double checking the awards. The suspense is palpable. Second place winners with $12,000 award go to Shaheen.
Off the step, guys.
And for the $15,000 award, first place goes to Bidaya. Okay, this concludes the beautiful event of the day. Thank you everyone for being here. Congratulations to all the builders. Congratulations to the ones who won the awards. We have a photo up. We would like to invite everybody up on stage for a picture. The biggest selfie we will try to take today. Everyone, come, let's try this. We have enough cameras, I think, to do this.
Hello. I know it's exciting, but please, everyone, settle down, come together. We're going to take a big group photo, and which cameras do they look at? Okay. Everybody look at, sorry. Hey, sorry. I'll stand here. Everybody now turn around and look at the camera that's in the middle of the room. 3. Everybody in now, otherwise you don't exist in our program. Okay. Okay, Amina, I think you're in the way of the photographers. Okay. Okay, 3, 2, 1, cheese. Or AI for good. Sorry, lady in the front, please. 3, 2, 1. Woo! Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Okay, 3, 2, 1, cheers! Cheese! Rami?
Rami.
Okay, so can we keep 42? They want to give us. Okay, Dr. Hazem and Abdul Jalil, can you please stay on the stage to give away the gifts? Yeah. This is chaos. This is chaos. The ending is chaos.
Yeah, because they asked last minute to do
What
the
is this
fit.
last minute change?
42 wants to give us gifts.
But let them give them away outside.
Great job, guys.
Thank you.
Well done, man.
Habibi, thank you.
Well executed program.
Thank you.
We're excited for what's more to come.
Same
I
here.
already socialized with some of these students, gave them the business card. Assuming
We're gonna work with
an
you on
official
this,
communication. Yeah. But the troops are on alert to invest some time on this. See you guys.
Hi everyone, please be seated. We have the last segment left and then we'll open for lunch. So everyone please get back to your seats.
So basically get seated so you can get up on stage and receive your last gift of the day before we have lunch. We have some giveaways. Yeah, that's it. We all get a car. It's confusing. I don't know what you guys are doing. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
Would you like me to say the names? I don't know the names of the entire team. You know your own team, right? Can you say their own names?
Okay. You want the judges and the jury and the panelists also to be invited. I don't know all their names by heart, but my... one minute. Can you call all the jury and panelists that are here on the stage?
Jury.
By name?
No, they're gone. They're gone.
Any jury? Anyone who's here? Let's see, and panelists.
Jury, Andre, Ayman, Abdullah. No, they're
Start
not
any
here.
team. I wonder... You want I have Abdullah, Dr. Maria.
startAD team. Everyone from startAD, please report to me.
Can we have the staff of startAD and the panel and the judges on the stage?
Yeah, I'm trying. Panelists and judges. Abdullah? Mariam?
Who? Tell them to turn off the lights.
Is the live stream partner? Delivery partner?
Yes.
Well, Amina on stage. It's a live stream. Start any team on stage, please.
Quick. Why are they being asked to go on the stage?
Because 42 want to give them some
The
thank
prize
you.
winners as well?
I don't know.
No, that's good.
No,
Hannah?
our
No,
team.
why are they there?
Oh, I don't know. They want to give the judges and our team.
Yeah.